Too Many Secrets is the title of this. And you probably already know why, but we'll go into it in a moment here. Give me a minute. Um, does that say Nancy Kincaid? We'll try to bring you up and see if my device works. You could be a perfect test subject while let me go ahead and put in here Trump. Too Many Secrets is what we're discussing here. Okay, so give me a second here. About the potential of secrets orbiting around the Trump admin that listen, it could just amount to liberal fear mongering, or it could amount to something more. Nevertheless, I do want to talk about it because it seems to be an ongoing thing when it comes to major events. And listen, secrets happen for a reason. But are they legitimate reasons is where we're going to head with this. So give me a minute to get this last stream up, and we should be on momentarily. I think we're good to go. So having said that, good evening to you folks. I'm dropping every damn thing I got here. Okay, let's go ahead and get it started. Good evening. Once again, it is indeed your boy Tim, the handsome liberal. Hopefully you guys all had a wonderful weekend. Unfortunately for me, my Chicago Bears once again were defeated by the Green Bay Packers. I don't know what the hell it is, but when it comes to the Bears, the Green Bay Packers definitely have their number. I don't Even when they have a really good season, they still lose to the Green Bay Packers. I don't know what the Green Bay Packers. Now the Green Bay Packers season is just as good as the Bears is this weekend. But even when the Packers are so and the Bears are doing well, which isn't often, the Bears still lose to the Packers somehow. I don't get it. The Bears went to the Super Bowl, I think, in 2006. And they still, I think they lost both games to the Packers that year. I don't get it. They cannot beat the Packers. I don't know what it is about that team. Are they stealing notes or something behind the scenes? Anyway, other than that, I would have had a decent weekend, but losing to the Packers always sucks. Nevertheless, let's go ahead and get into the program. You see it's titled Too Many Secrets. Now, I want to, we always come with some form of receipts, and today is no exception. I just want to make sure I got my Wi-Fi kicked in here so we don't have any trouble with the program. Okay, I want you guys to hear something. This is two clips from President Trump. They're merely days apart. They're merely days apart. One of them is, the second half of this clip just took place this afternoon, so a couple hours ago or so. But this is President Trump, and this is what we mean.
Mr. President, you said you would have no problem with releasing the full video of that strike on September 2nd off the coast of Venezuela. Secretary Hegseth now says...
You said that. I didn't say that. This is ABC fake news.
You said that you...
Now, you hear what she's asking him. I'll play it again briefly, but she's asking him about him saying that he would have no problem releasing the double tap. That's what this is. This is about the double tap. He stated that he would have no problem releasing it, is what she is saying, and you hear his answer.
President, you said you would have no problem with releasing the full video of that strike on September 2nd off the coast of Venezuela. Secretary Hegseth now says...
You said that. I didn't say that. This is ABC fake news.
You said that you would have no problem releasing the full video. Okay, well, Secretary Hegseth...
Whatever Hegseth wants to do is okay with me.
You released video...
Now, that's him saying that earlier this afternoon, and this particular video immediately goes into what he said. Because you hear him say, I didn't say that, you're saying that. So he's suggesting that the reporter is putting words in his mouth, and that he never said he would have no problem releasing the video. I think everybody watching probably heard him say it, but nevertheless, here goes.
Is okay with me.
You released video of that first boat strike on September 2nd, but not the second video. Will you release video of that strike so that the American people can see for themselves what
I
happened?
don't know what they have, but whatever they have, we'd certainly release. No problem. We stopped every boat we knock out. We saved 25,000 American lives. And if you look at our numbers, the drugs through C are down 91%.
Mr. President, you said you would have no.
So he actually, you hear her say in the first video, Mr. President, you say you would have quote unquote no problem releasing the video. And his response is, I didn't say that. When you see him on the second clip, he actually uses the words no problem. Now, we talked about for many videos. We talked about how Biden stumbles and don't know where he's at and things like that. Is it possible this is happening to Trump? How could he not remember saying that only a few days ago? How could he say something like that just a few days ago, and now he's already said he never said it, and he's criticizing the reporter that simply quoted what he said? She just simply quoted him and said, you said you would have no problem. And he's insulting her, calling her fake news and things like that. I don't understand. And not to mention, I'm still shocked how he continues to insult female reporters. It generally is always, with emphasis on always, a female reporter. He attacked another one today during the press conference. I don't know what it is about President Trump and female reporters, but I mean, there's plenty of there's plenty of male liberal reporters. It's always a woman. So does he have an issue with females in that profession? I don't know, but CNN, MSNBC, or what is it called now? MS Now, whatever issue he has with liberal networks, they have male reporters, male journalists for those networks too. He always, when it's face to face, it's always a female reporter. So we're titling this Too Many Secrets because this is just one. This just came out today when they're talking about. And real quick in the comments, Mike Apu says, why do Democrats still, why do blacks rather, he says, why do blacks still vote for Democrats? I don't know. Perhaps maybe the Republican Party doesn't give them a better reason to vote for them. I assume you should talk to a few blacks and ask them, because you are correct. Most blacks by far vote Democrat. Trump improved that in the 2024 election, but I think everybody would assume that he's probably rolling that back. He certainly in the midterms, it's going to be going right back to where the African-American vote was. It's going to be overwhelmingly Democrat. So I would suggest you sit down and talk to a few African-Americans. You might be to get an answer to that. Anyway, looking in the comments, so Betty, going back to the show at large. Now, in addition to him indicating he's never said he was going to release the video of the second strike, when I say too many secrets, I mean, why is so much happening with zero explanation? Right now, we're in the middle of what Trump has, Trump has initiated, which is a drug war off the coast of Venezuela, talking about drugs coming from Venezuela to the United States. Even though they're talking about fentanyl, apparently some of the boats they blew up had cocaine on them. And I think the Trump administration has come out and stated that the boat had cocaine on it. The cocaine is still it can cause a significant amount of health problems. So listen, fentanyl might be immediate, but plenty of folks have died from cocaine use. So it's still a very dangerous drug, but here's the problem. If we're in the middle of a drug war, why hasn't there been an ample explanation provided for why he just pardoned a major drug kingpin who was responsible for hundreds of tons of cocaine coming into America? Does that make sense? We're trying to prevent drugs from coming into America while pardoning drug kingpins. We talked about this on the last show. Individual, I think his name was Juan Orlando Hernandez. He got a 45-year sentence handed down to him last June of 2024. President Trump pardoned him just last week, I believe, or the week before last, literally shaving off his 45-year sentence. He literally shaved off about 43 and a half years off of a 45-year sentence. So his 45-year sentence turned into a year and a few months. So if we're in the middle of a drug war, like I said, too many secrets. Can they explain why they done that? Why is that being done in the middle of a drug war? No explanation whatsoever. Too many secrets. Also, we've brought this up many times before. This is just all in one topic. We have 3 topics on the show, but all of this is under the category of too many secrets. The last one is we brought this up many times is Ghislaine Maxwell, literally the pimp for Jeffrey Epstein, providing him with victims, essentially grooming and softening up victims so that they would participate with Jeffrey Epstein or any of his other colleagues. Now, we're talking about Ghislaine Maxwell here. Why is she in minimum security? Why has that not been explained yet? Why was her life significantly upgraded by the Trump administration once again with no explanation whatsoever? That's what we're talking about. Too many secrets. Or better yet, I guess to some degree, does the public have a right to know why all of this stuff is happening? Is it within the realm of Trump? Would it be Trump's right to just simply tell the public, shut the hell up? I'm here at the helm. I'm doing what's right for this country. You don't have a right to ask questions. Would that be a better explanation? Because these are some very controversial things taking place, and the Trump administration is not explaining any of this. Now, so it does appear as if we're not going to see the video of the second strike anymore. You just heard President Trump state that, and they're claiming, I believe, that the video showing the double tap, showing the second strike, would show confidential information or on methods and things like. I don't understand how you could show an attempt to kill them, and when the attempt fails, it's controversial to show how you actually did it. That's what they're saying. So they went from President Trump saying he would have no problem letting you see the second video to now suggesting it's some way, somehow controversial to release it. Too many secrets. I see you tried to go. Yeah, Paul Smith, I don't know. Paul Smith, we're going to be trying to go live on Rumble again. In fact, I got saying live on Rumble. That's actually not accurate now, but we can't figure out, because I can't see the screen. We do have a Rumble account. I know there's a hell of a lot of conservatives, MAGA, on Rumble, so we certainly want to be there, but I could not figure it out, so we had to drop Rumble. We're currently on Facebook, Tim Liberals. We're currently on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. So continuing on, and I'll start taking callers momentarily. President Trump today also announced that they're going to begin bailing out farmers. Soybean was not selling, China was not purchasing. I think Trump did make some sort of a deal or arrangement, so China is now purchasing American soybean, but farmers have been complaining since the tariffs kicked in. What we want to talk about here is, if the tariffs are as productive as President Trump and the administration are stating, where we're bringing in tons of money and it's going to cause the price of goods and services to drop, why do the farmers need to be bailed out? If they're the ones producing all of these goods and the tariffs are going to bring in a ton of money, why are they claiming that they're going broke? We'll leave that one up to you guys to tackle, because I'm going to admit that type of knowledge is above my pay grade, but maybe some of you folks can help me understand it. Why do the farmers need to be bailed out if the tariffs are doing as well as President Trump is stating? Last but not least, topic number 3. Do you know how tariffs work, says Jay? No, that's why you're here, 69 James. That is why you're here. You're going to explain it. Last but not least, we do got another interesting, I wanted to talk about that in a minute, but birthright citizenship we covered last time. But what I want to ask you folks is this, because birthright citizenship is in the 14th Amendment. It's literally part of our nation's constitution. The question being, if President Trump, by way of executive order, because that's what he's done, is he's going to roll back birthright citizenship rights. It's not been done by Congress, Senate, or anyone. It wasn't put up for a vote. President Trump said, I want, therefore it shall be. Now it's going before the SCOTUS, the Supreme Court, but if they do rule on the side of President Trump, he will have unilaterally rolled back the 14th Amendment, or at least parts of it, on his own. without any congressional input, no votes from the citizens or anything. Now, there's a lot of folks who do agree with getting rid of birthright citizenship, and that's not what the debate here is about. It may come to that if you guys want to talk about it, but it's not about debating whether or not you favor terminating birthright citizenship. We kind of covered that on the last show. What I want to ask is this: if he can roll back part of our nation's constitution by executive order, meaning the 14th Amendment, what's stopping him from rolling back other parts of it, such as freedom of speech, Fourth Amendment? Maybe, listen, he talked about the Somalis being garbage and they need to leave the country. Well, they are American citizens. A large portion of the Somali population in Minnesota were born in America. So do you think Trump, considering that he believes they're garbage, do you believe he thinks they should continue to have Second Amendment rights? So I want to talk about that. If he can roll back one amendment, what is stopping him from rolling back others? And of course, do you believe he will stop at the Fourth Amendment? Talked about taking Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon off the air. That's freedom of speech. He's went at the colleges for their protesting. He didn't like them the way they were protesting, suggesting they were not protecting Jewish students and things like that. Freedom of assembly. All of that's in the First Amendment. Talked about giving police immunity from prosecution. That's part of the Fourth Amendment. There's a whole lot in there. Do you believe he will stop at the 14th Amendment? So we're going to talk about that. I'll go to the comment section immediately. Real quick, this is not necessarily what we're going to talk about, but if you want to bring it up, you absolutely can. U.S. Texas Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. Everybody knows who Jasmine Crockett is. She's a bomb thrower for the left. She just announced she's running for U.S. Senate in Texas. In Texas. Do you believe Jasmine Crockett can pull off the Senate in a red state like Texas? Liberal, progressive, woman, African American. I love my African American. Do you think that Jasmine Crockett can pull it off in Texas? She's officially in that race. So you guys know how the program is ran. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone. We are MAGA friendly, been MAGA friendly since day one. Always have, always will be. We have no moderators. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone on this program. You can be critical of anyone, including yours truly. Few words you can't say because of the censors or the whatever you want to call it on the apps, but we don't mind. We can handle whatever you have to say. Just understand that. So anyhow, looking in the comment section, garbage, calling garbage, garbage. Well, Thomas Clayton, what do you mean when you say garbage is calling garbage? So what are you suggesting, that Trump is garbage, calling garbage? So you're saying Trump and the Somalis are garbage? Let me know what that means. And in the comments here real quick, Spirit says Trump is keeping promises. Really? Ending the war in 24 hours? Bringing down the prices of groceries on day one? You really think he's keeping his promises? Texas is more purple, but the right gerrymander the hell out of the state. It is turning purple. I do agree with that. I do, but right now it's still officially red, but with the gerrymandering, you're right. Talk about what matters the most. The Epstein files. We need to know. The Epstein files don't matter the most. If they mattered the most, you would have been talking about them like that during the Biden administration. Listen, President Trump is likely on the Epstein files. Many believe he has abused young women. We can debate that back and forth. But the reason the Epstein files are important is because people think it will hurt President Trump. If President Trump were to croak today, the effort to get to the bottom of the Epstein files would still be there, but it would be significantly less. This is the same thing I stated during the Hunter Biden years, when Hunter Biden was being targeted for his laptop and things like that. I said it then. I said the minute Biden is out of the picture, the pursuit of Hunter Biden will diminish significantly, just like it did for Hillary Clinton and her emails. So that's the main reason we want to get to the bottom of the Epstein files. It's because it will hurt President Trump, is what many assume. Anyway, looking in the box, we'll go straight. What did I say? Life-saving medication are going up in prices next month. Well, shit, I believe all of your healthcare, I think it's going to be hovering around. All of that shit's going to happen that way. James Harper, good afternoon. Welcome to the program, James.
What's going on, Tim?
Not much at all. Not much. Does it appear to you, as what the monitor says, that there are a host of secrets orbiting the Trump administration?
Yes, it's always been like that.
Is that unique to him though? Because some would say that maybe Biden or Obama or some of them were hiding stuff.
It's
Mike,
more
thank
unique
you.
to him because he's been saying one thing and visibly doing another. Like we see the hypocrisy almost every day.
Give me an example. What do you mean? You say saying one thing, but I think I played one of them in the opener. But give me an example. What do you mean by hypocrisy?
Oh, we're going to be transparent about this. We're going to show these documents. We're going to do this, and then the next minute is a complete 180. We're not going to do this. That's not what we said. We weren't going to do this. Or how about we're going to lower prices for everybody, but then cut all the social programs, which is going to raise prices for a lot of things like groceries and things like that. But he's always talking about like, oh, I'm for the people, but he's more pro corporation than he is for the people.
Well, according to President Trump, not only did you pay 25% less for your Thanksgiving dinner, the price of groceries have went down significantly. He's saying they're down now.
Okay, you also got to remember, like, that whole thing that he was talking about for the Thanksgiving dinner, the package was completely different. Like, it wasn't the same package as it was last year. Like, they switched out, like, the name brand stuff for great value stuff, and then they had less things in it. So, no, you can't sit there and say, I did a good job, look at this, when they obviously, like, shrank everything down.
Well, I had a lot of my beloved MAGA on the show that were adamant that the price of Thanksgiving dinner was indeed dropping in their neck of the woods. Is it maybe where you happen to be somewhere where the price is up in your area? Because people were saying it was coming down.
And those people that were saying we're coming down were lying to you, Tim, because it can't be like it's down in one area and up in another area. It was all around. Like that's one of the things that people been complaining about: inflation and grocery prices going up.
Let me ask you.
They just don't want to admit that because their guys in office.
Could be. But let me ask it to you this way, because obviously President Trump was running against Kamala Harris, and Kamala Harris was the VP of President Biden. And under Biden, many folks were certainly not happy with the price of goods and services in this country. Do you believe when it comes to managing the economy, between Trump and let's go with Kamala Harris, and she was the company, who do you think would have been better at managing the economy?
Economists already said that her plans were better than his. Economists, people who actually study the economy, like they all agreed that her plans was going to be less harmful for the country than Trump's plans were.
I'm kind of wondering what plans was she putting out there, because I know she talked about no taxes on tips after Trump released that. What was she?
No, she actually, her plan was actually like taking away subsidies and having the wealthy pay their fair share. Like she was going to increase the tax on the wealthy and get rid of some of them breaks that they had while keeping the breaks for the middle class.
Yeah,
trying to shift the burden off of the middle class to the upper class.
Yeah, you definitely are going to get a threat to tax the wealthy and make them pay their fair share. That's really going to come under any liberal. So you do believe now you're saying, because I didn't hear any the economists saying that her plans for the economy were much better. I barely remember what she was even offering, but taxing the wealthy
they compared her plan to with the big beautiful bill, and they said that her plan was going to be less of a burden on the economy and on our debt than Trump's will.
Well, now Trump's first term though, you would admit the economy was not bad during his first term, right?
Okay, his first term. You got to remember, like the first term, the first 2 years, you're still backtracking off the last administration. But
so in other words, right now, as bad as this economy is, this is the Biden economy.
No, as bad as this economy is, Biden didn't implement tariffs. He didn't cut millions of jobs. Talking about I'm getting rid of stuff. I'm getting rid of all these this wasteful spending. He did all this. That is part this fall. A major event has to happen for us to fall this bad, this fast.
But Trump is suggesting that the tariffs are bringing in a windfall to America.
Come on, stop fluffing, Tim.
No, this is what he's saying. He is suggesting that the tariffs have brought us in a windfall amount of cash. Did he not say that?
He says a lot of things, but that don't mean it's true.
I'm just telling you what the man is saying. The man is saying we're making a killing right now.
No, we're not making a killing because those tariffs are coming out of the taxpayer dollars. It's not coming out of none of these countries that he's talking about. Not to mention, because of these tariffs, countries are stopping buying our stuff and going to other people and buying stuff. BRICS is at an all-time high now because of the stuff that he's done.
Well, but what about him indicating that he's made a deal with China, and now China is going to begin purchasing U.S. soybean and things like that? So the farmers are on their way to being happy again, says Trump.
Tim, show me one written deal that he has and not one verbal deal. Like, all he's been saying is, I made this deal, but we have not seen not a single one of these deals in writing.
I mean, you make a fair point. He most of the stuff he celebrates is things that is coming out of his mouth versus actual deals that have been signed on. I'm not aware that the Chinese signed any particular deal either, but he says it happened. So, do you trust your president?
No, because he creates an issue, and then when he backtracks on the issue, then he tries to say, "Oh, look, I fixed this." It's like, no, you made that. That was your own shit.
What about the fact that the gas prices are really, really low right now? Do you give him credit at least for that?
No, because the gas price has been fluctuating. The gas price that it is right now has been the same thing before he got in office.
No, they've went down. I think the price of fuel has went.
No.
So you're telling me this time last year the price of fuel was the same as it is now?
Yes.
I don't know if that's the case. In the comments, by way of yes or no, has your fuel prices dropped at all, or are you paying the same as you were last year? It seems lower to me. Maybe I'm getting old, but I believe the price of fuel. How about this then? It hasn't went up. It hasn't went up. At least, is that not a good thing?
The price hasn't gone up. That's because we're producing the same amount. We haven't stopped producing.
But yeah, I don't know. I think I wish I had more information to put forward, but I think you're wrong. I think the price of fuel, not significantly, but I believe it's went down some. I believe it actually went down some. I see.
And other things have gone up.
Yeah. The price, but what about the possibility that there is price gouging? Do you think it's Trump's fault that the price of things are going up?
Yes, you want to know why? Because the people that's supposed to stop the price gouging, the oversight, he got rid of them. He gutted all that oversight. Yeah. So now these corporations can do what they want, and they don't have to worry about somebody coming down on their neck for doing it.
Yeah, I mean he is.
Jeff Johnson, you say name one thing: beef, coffee, groceries.
Yeah,
like products that we get from overseas. All of that's gone up.
I'll absolutely agree with you. I'm definitely one that can appreciate a good steak. I like to eat a good steak dinner at least once a week. That shit's went up a lot. I mean, if you've been,
it's almost double.
Yeah, if you've been buying T-bones and sirloins and shit like that, ribeyes, it's went up a lot. The price of beef it's not a small increase. It's big. I mean, you're paying $40 for a raw steak nowadays in the grocery store. It's a lot. I mean, that absolutely is a lot. But I thought,
and part of that's because the burden of the price shifted onto us because they can't get their exports no more because a lot of people stopped buying American beef and switched to Australian beef.
But
the country namely is China, who we're supposed to be having this deal with.
But how about this? Are you judging Trump because of what's going on, or are you judging Trump just because you hate the man? Paul Smith says, when are you going to understand? I suppose he's talking to me, but he's in reference, I suppose, to hearing you. Says, when are you going to understand a Democrat will never give a Republican president his just dues? Are you holding out on the commander-in-chief, James?
First off, I'm not a Democrat. I'm independent.
Who'd you vote for in 2024?
I voted for Kamala Harris in 2024 because I know that Trump was a liar and he's known for stiffing people on bills. Every time he says he's going to do something, if it's not beneficial, he's not going to do it.
Did you vote for Trump in any of his 3 attempts?
No.
Obama versus Romney.
Obama versus Romney. I voted for Obama. But
Obama-
I voted for Hogan. I voted for Hogan in the state level.
Obama versus McCain.
I voted for Obama. I didn't
Nationally,
like McCain.
you don't seem too independent nationally. You seem like you might be a liberal.
That's because it's not a third party that's really going out there for votes on a presidential level.
All right, fair. I mean, if you're voting for Obama and Kamala Harris, both are considered definitely left of center. Some would suggest they're even progressives.
I'll put it to you like this: if Bernie Sanders would have got the nomination, I'd have voted for Bernie.
and you consider that
And Bernie-
independent?
Bernie is independent. He joins a party just so he can get votes. But Bernie always he's left of them.
Right. If you got Republican,
policies.
if you got Republican here, independent here, and then Democrat here, Bernie Sanders is actually left of Democrat. You're nowhere near
Bernie's actually,
independent.
but
But
Bernie's
Bernie,
actually for people though.
huh?
But Bernie's actually for the people. He's not sitting there for corporations and things like that. He's actually trying to do stuff for the people, which is what they're all supposed to be doing.
Well, you do understand, James, that Trump says he's for the people.
Trump will tell you anything to get your vote and to get your donation.
So let me ask you this. Speaking of folks that may be a little bit left of center, Jasmine Crockett, she just threw her name in a hat for the U.S. Senate in Texas, the Lone Star State. Do you think she can pull it off?
It'll be a difficult one if she does pull it off. But the way things are going right now, she might have a chance because a lot of people are not happy with this Republican Party, especially down there in Texas with those guys down there. They haven't done anything for them people, especially since like the super freeze. How many times have they abandoned the people when they need them the most?
Well, I'm going to tell you, James, even though I hear what you're saying, MAGA is still overwhelmingly happy at Trump's performance. I'm getting folks that are still
Okay.
regularly telling me he's the greatest of all
MAGA treats
time.
politics like football, Tim.
Say that again?
MAGA treats politics like football. If MAGA wins, it's a win for their team. They don't care. They'll sit there and cheer it on while bill creditors is knocking on their door.
I swear to God, I've heard somebody say that before. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. But, I mean, so based on that, he can't lose.
Actually, he can because remember, the reason why he won was because the independents switched sides and started voting for him. But he done pissed all them off. So all that momentum that he gained in that last election, it all went back the other direction because of all the policies he's been putting in, all the stuff that he's been doing.
You feel confident that Trump has pissed off the independents? That if Trump had to run against Kamala Harris today, you think she would beat him? You think she would have a chance after losing all
Have the
7
last-
swing states?
Haven't these last couple elections been showing you that? Because this major shift from the Republican Party over to the other side. How many upsets has been happening in this year alone?
Yeah, but that's upsets at the gubernatorial and congressional level. That ain't upsets with Trump. Trump is just charming and he knows how to speak to the people. Maybe some of those Republican
Okay.
congressmen did not want to do
Well,
that.
say that to the millions of people that lost their jobs or lost their savings because of the things that he's been doing. Not to mention the people whose family members have been harassed and kicked out of the country because of his policies. Those people are not going to sit there and say, "Oh, well, you know what? Just because that happened, I'm still going to vote." No, they're going to be against that.
Well, last question before I move it on. How do you respond to people that say Trump is only doing what he promised? He made it clear he was going to be part of the largest deportation in history. Now that he's in office and he's doing that, how can you complain? He promised to do that. He campaigned on it and people elected
No,
him.
he promised to get rid of the criminals. He's taking away people's status. He's taking away their protection statuses and going after people that's doing their hearings and things. People trying to do the right thing. That's who he's attacking. And then he's trying to make it so that in order to make his numbers, he wants to kick out all asylum seekers, all the people that we took in as refugees, because apparently they're the ones that are making the country bad when that's not the case.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, MAGA's still quite happy. I got to move it on, James, though. Appreciate you coming in. Thanks for coming through.
No problem, Tom.
Anytime. All right, tap the screen, by the way, folks. Smash that like button if you're watching on YouTube. If you're currently watching us on Facebook, certainly follow the program if this is what you enjoy. Uncensored dialogue. From all sides of the aisle, we don't block, ban, or censor anyone. Left of Bernie Sanders to I'm having dinner with Q. Everyone gets to speak. You can be critical of anybody on this program. That's how free speech works. In the comments, Jason Hacker says this guy has no clue what he's talking about. Now, I don't know if because that comment came in before my last caller dropped. So I don't know if that's in reference to yours truly or if it was in reference to my last caller. James, you can feel free to specify that. Sticky Fingers. My gas in my town of south or southeast area is $1.99. Okay, wow. So you're saying that you are paying $1.99 a gallon? I haven't. Wow. Listen, if fuel prices are under $2, how can we not give President Trump some credit? You didn't see that under Biden, right? $1.99. Is that what you're saying, Sticky Fingers? When are you going to understand? And looking in the comments here, I just want to. I haven't seen that. I have not seen it. Yeah, nowadays people win big money if your team wins. Creed, that ain't nowadays. That's always been that way. It's always been that way. If your team wins, you win big money in reference to politics. Ain't nothing Donald Trump can do for me that the good Lord had already done. All right. Where or when was Trump ever charming? Elaine, if you go to the way people leave Trump rallies, I'll say it that way, and I've been to a couple of Trump rallies, the way Trump energizes a crowd at a Trump rally, I've seen it from Obama, because I went to Obama. Biden rallies didn't do it like that. Trump knows how to speak to people. The jokes he tells is obviously jokes that are going to relate to the audience that he draws in, but he is very charming. He is very charming. You may not like what he says because the charm is not meant for you, but he's a very charming individual. Real quick before we go back to the box, what's more important, gas or your job? Wow. I'm going to say for most Americans, their form of employment is going to be more important than the price of fuel. Let's go back to the box. We'll go straight to the one and only Michael the Boss. The Boss. I wish I could say the Bears right now, but they lost to the Packers. Mike, good evening.
What's going on?
Not much at all, man. Lot going on. You see the videos titled Too Many Secrets today. President Trump has held a press conference and he's claiming that he never stated that he was going to release the second strike on that Venezuelan boat. How does that work? He just said it the other day he was going to do that.
And because they lied, because he's a liar in his support. And listen, you're going to bring up people here. If you bring up MAGA, they will say, well, you know how Trump is. He always says stuff. You guys always take him seriously. You always take it out of context. Blah, 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 blah.
MAGA don't talk like that, do they?
Excuse me, Tim, while I tug on his dick for a couple more minutes. Can you bring me up next after I finish off fluffing him? These motherfuckers are so disconnected, Tim. It's ridiculous. Did you hear what else you said today, too?
What? About the tariffs?
Did you hear that about the boats and how he was saying that every boat that we boom
25,000 American lives.
25,000.
Yeah.
Tim,
Yeah.
answer me this question, and the next MAGA motherfucker that comes up, if you don't ask them this question, Tim, I'm not coming back no motherfucking more. The question is this.
I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna write it down so I remember.
Yeah. How would he possibly know how many lives would be saved? Because you would have to have the quantity of the narcotics to quantify it, to be able to say how many lives would have been saved.
I'm going to defend Trump. Let me put my MAGA hat on. I'm going to defend.
Go right ahead.
I'm going to defend Trump by simply saying that if they're doing proper intelligence, maybe they got satellite photos or they got confidential informants that can estimate how many pounds of this shit they're putting on the boats, and they know based on the pounds of it how many, approximately how many lives it could affect. There is a way to do that. Trump maybe.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so and I love the way you said that. You're going to defend them, and see, here's my rebuttal, because this is what I was waiting for. If that is the case, and they have so much intelligence, they could have stopped the boats before they even fucking left. That's number one.
Well,
Wait a minute.
well,
you're touting the wait a minute, you're touting their intelligence. In order for them to do that, they couldn't do it while the boats were moving. They couldn't, because all the boats were different sizes now.
Perhaps for
You know,
confidentiality purposes and ease of neutralizing a target, it may make more sense to take them out in open sea than somewhere at home, because there could be collateral damage, other innocent bystanders. This might be the perfect way where you know the only people you're taking out are the bad guys.
again, that's bullshit, and you know it. But I love how you do that shit with a straight face. Matter of fact, I'm gonna say
It's
why.
plausible.
I'm gonna explain it to you.
Sure.
So if you're sinking the vessels, by the way, you got to keep in mind, Pete Hegseth said in the first time that the reason they hit they did the double tap is because they wanted to clear the boat out of the way so it wouldn't be hit by armed combat. That's what he said the first time, which is bullshit. So they were trying.
Wait. He said, I got Trump.
said that-
Trump distracted me. He's on television. Okay, he said, Hegseth said what again?
The reason they double tapped the boat, this was the first time he opened his mouth. The reason they did the double tap is because they didn't want the boat to be out there in the way and in the path of other vessels. That's what he said. Those were his words. You can
Let me just interrupt and say this, because I kind of feel like Sarah Huckabee Sanders or somebody here, where you're trying to explain what the president or the administration has done, and then the reporter comes up and reads another tweet that he said right in the middle of you giving an explanation. I don't know why
I'm just telling you, Tim. Now, let's get back to these vessels real quick.
I don't know why he would say that.
No, wait a minute. I want to finish this. And there's a lot of people in the comments pushing back, and I did this on purpose. If that's the case, then why would you let go somebody that moved 400 tons of narcotics into this country? And how many lives were lost then? And how many did he just put in jeopardy by letting him out? See, none of this shit makes sense,
No,
Tim.
it don't.
And you can throw those out there all you want now. And then they said that these two guys tried to flip over a 40-foot vessel by themselves.
Yeah.
The ones that were double tapped.
That
That's what they
came
said.
from Arkansas Senator, what is his name, Tom Cotton. And it came from the Trump administration too, that somehow, some kind of way, these guys, I mean, if you think about the weight of a boat that's carrying Outback motors and a ton of fuel to make it over 1,000 miles, you're not going to flip it over by hand. I don't know why you would say that.
And a ton of narcotics that each boat would kill 25,000 people. You would have to know exactly what type of narcotic it was. You can't do the math on that, Tim. That's why I said it, because it's bullshit. And the people in the comments that think I'm crazy, you're supporting something that you would have to know what type it was. Was it ethanol? Was it cocaine? Was it already cut? You don't know any of that shit.
Yeah,
You
I
know
don't.
that shit.
Listen, I think the problem here is Hegseth. I think Hegseth has said so many controversial or contradictory statements that, I mean, I don't know if Trump is ever going to consider getting rid of Hegseth, but it's the Hegseth quotes that are causing this problem. That's what, because he is saying one thing and then it's another.
He's not by himself. You know why? Because the president, this is what you sign up for. The president should be demanding accurate information before he stands his ass up and supports it.
President Trump is probably getting accurate information. They just aren't relaying it to you and I.
Well, no, wait a minute. If he's getting accurate information, is Pete giving him accurate information? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, my guess is President Trump has seen the double tap videos and everything. I mean, if he asks the generals or whoever ordered the strike to describe what's happening, they're going to give him information that's very accurate. And Hegseth has that information as well. I don't believe Trump is receiving inaccurate information. I think that they just aren't telling us accurate information.
So which means they're lying.
Elaborating, for lack of a better term.
Shit. If they have accurate information, but they're not giving it to us, and they're telling us shit that's inaccurate, that's a lie, right? I mean, what the fuck are we? Why are we doing this dance, Tim? I mean, I like to dance, but not with you. What the fuck? It's a lie. It's a lie.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, Reggie. If it were top secret, why tell anything? See, this is where you can't undo this shit. Either you're telling us or you're not. But if you're telling us what happened in the operations and then it doesn't jive and it doesn't make sense because the video doesn't support it, they haven't recovered one fentanyl pill. They haven't recovered one brick of cocaine. And somebody told me earlier on another live that Congress said that they had seen evidence of. Congress hasn't said that.
Yeah.
Have you seen Congress come out and say that there were narcotics on the?
Well,
that they confirmed?
no, I heard because I was watching This Week with George Stephanopoulos. There is a Democrat. Some of them have seen the second strike, and they're saying that I forgot what the name of the guy. I wish I had it queued up, but he basically said what Tom Cotton is saying is a complete lie. He said there was. First of all, he made it clear that the boat that they were clinging onto was completely destroyed. There was no way they were going to be able to flip this over and use it. So he made it sound like whatever they were clinging onto was completely out of whack. So it's not like they were going to be able to use this boat to continue a 1,000-mile journey. He stated they didn't have any weapons and they didn't have any radios because they also indicated they might be radioing for help to stay in the fight or something like this. I mean,
to stay in the what fight?
Yeah.
What fucking fight? Stay in what fight? You've cut my vessel in half. It's upside down. I'm floating in the middle of the ocean, and you think that their objective was to flip half a part of boat over? Where's it gonna go, Tim? Where are they going? And recover a radio that's in the boat. And the funny thing is, Tim, when you blow up something, don't you have remnants of whatever you blew all over the place?
Yeah.
So how come we haven't found any partial pieces of cocaine or whatever? And before anybody says anything, cocaine floats.
Yeah.
So
I don't. Listen, I'll be the first to admit. Like I said, most of it is Hegseth quotes that. Not only is the stuff not making sense, but then he changes it later on to something else that doesn't make sense as well, like blowing it up to get the boat out of the way and them staying in a fight. These are just drug runners. They're not in a fight. I don't know what kind of. I mean, they don't even have a rifle on board. What do you mean they're in a fight? So I don't even know why dealing drugs and fight are used as synonyms somehow. A drug dealer's not in a fight.
Because Tim, because they know that they can tell their supporters anything. And by the looks of your comments today, a lot of them are in here and they can't bring themselves to go, So, I mean, listen, there have been efforts in the past because the Coast Guard, when they started seizing boats, they go out of their way not to sink the vessels with narcotics and recover them. So we don't have an issue in our marine life with the narcotics harming our ecosystem. Yes or no, Tim? And I know you know that.
Well, do they want to leave harmful narcotics around for the fish to chew on? Of course not.
But what they're saying is the message up to this point is they don't. If you listen to them, they saved 25,000 people. So there has to be a significant amount of narcotics on each boat that they'll never verify because they sunk it. But where is it going, Tim? Where's it going?
Well, I suppose they would say it's soluble in salt water or something. I don't know. But you do raise a great question. Because that stuff would be barrels of cocaine and things like that would be extremely harmful to the marine environment. Why would you just leave that stuff at sea as opposed to disabling the boat, taking the folks into custody and getting those narcotics off of the vessel so that they can be destroyed? The problem is I think a lot of journalists have become somewhat fearful to ask those type of detailed questions to the Trump administration because they're hostile in how they answer.
And again, Tim, and I agree with you. So we have a hostile government. We have a hostile president. Let's unpack this real quick. We have a hostile government who only wants to talk to certain media outlets. They want to censor TV, i.e. Jimmy Kimmel and all of those people. He just attacked CBS today for putting an interview with Marjorie Taylor Greene out yesterday. He just attacked them again today for that. So this is a hostile government, to your point. And again, Tim, if it was truly about unaliving people, you know what? This is how stupid this administration and these people are. What would be the easier win, Tim, to disarm the boats? Like the Coast Guard would do, they would shoot at the engine, right?
Mhm.
Recover the narcotics and show those people handcuffed. What would be the better victory for Trump?
Well, the problem is if you do what you're suggesting they do, which is what they traditionally do by way of the Coast Guard or somebody hovering alongside in the Black Hawk, if they actually do that, the original theory of why we're there will likely fall apart. Trump is claiming they're shipping fentanyl. All of a sudden, if you start arresting all of these folks and showing big barrels of marijuana and cocaine, it goes against the whole notion that they're bringing fentanyl in. And then, of course, if it's cocaine, Trump has to answer, well, why are you pardoning cocaine drug lords? So,
But again, but see, that makes rational sense. I'm not talking about normal sense for rational, but I'm talking about for MAGA. I'm saying all he had to do was disarm one, show barrels. They didn't even got to fucking open them. They didn't even have to open them. Because here's the thing, Tim.
but wait a
They haven't
minute.
shown
Wait, Mike,
No, listen to me.
Mike, if the individual captured is still alive, that individual can get out the message that, look, what we did is wrong if we get prosecuted, whatever, but we were moving cocaine. Why do you keep saying fentanyl? A dead man can't say that.
But why did they release the other two? See, this plot gets so thick you can't talk out
Yeah.
of it. It makes no sense. We're on the fuckery carousel and there's no way off of it, right? It's just like Gen X has said in the comments. What do I know what they did or did not recover? That's the point, Gen X. But the fact that you guys, anybody that believes, and I'm going to land this here, we can move on to the next topic. Anybody that believes that this is okay, you guys are the problem. And he knows he can tell you anything and you'll believe it because you would never accept getting pulled over without a reason. If a cop just pulled you over and you said, what's the problem, officer? And he said, give me your ID. And he never told you what he pulled you over for. You would never accept that shit. Never. That's just a fucking traffic ticket. You would never just accept that.
How about
shit.
this, though? Jerry Garcia in the comments says, we don't know they didn't recover remnants. So, in other words, maybe they did recover narcotics out of the
Why
ocean.
would then listen, Tim, the whole argument, the whole thing that the House committee is asking is for information that they won't release to the House committee. How easy would it be to show the House committee pictures and let the House committee go out in front of the media and say, we've seen evidence? Because that's what they're there for.
Perhaps they detect that the House committee on the liberal side has Trump derangement syndrome, and no matter what the hell you show them, they're going to find a way to criticize
Tim,
Trump.
that's bullshit.
So he's just like, why bother?
It's your show, so I had to let you finish that bullshit ass statement. But because you know that's bullshit.
I'm just
Here's the
saying.
thing, Tim.
I'm just saying.
I know you had to say something, but here's what I'm saying about what you just said. If they had the evidence, you could just make this all go away, make the left look like fucking idiots, and say, there it is. And we're not even having this conversation right now.
You know something? At this point, the left has got it in for Trump so much. Even if you showed them everything, they would just say it's AI. The left ain't going to trust Trump no matter what he releases.
That's what they're saying. All I'm saying is if you just use the normal vehicles to prove this shit, the House committee has subpoenaed whatever evidence and they won't give it to them. So that's the first thing, Tim. So why won't you release it? Listen, let's stop talking about it. Let's call it what it is. And I know you're fucking with me because it's the live and, you get all these other magazines. I get it.
Okay, Jasmine Crockett. What the hell's up with Jasmine Crockett? Should she have just continued being a congresswoman where she was winning? Do you think she's ready for the promotion?
Is she ready for it? Yeah. Will she win it? I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen. The more of the continuation of this administration, I think you're going to see more and more of his supporters just not go vote. They're just not going to go vote. They may not vote for her, but they're not just going to go vote because this shit it's already hitting home. It's not like it's not hitting home. Look at his approval rating right now.
But I mean, Biden's approval rating sucked as well. I mean, I'm hearing that.
Wait a minute. Wait the fuck. Did I bring up Biden?
No, I did. God damn it, it sucked too. You can't pretend like it's just Trump. Biden's numbers sucked as well.
Wait a minute, Tim. Did his approval rating suck 11 months into his first term?
I don't remember what they were 11 months in.
Was it ever this low?
Trump is doing a lot, Mike. The man
What's
is
Trump's approval rating right now?
like 30-something%.
Yeah, okay. It's 38%, right?
It's pretty fucking low, yeah.
What is his MAGA base, Tim?
What do you mean? What is about 30?
What percent of go ahead. I'm listening.
In other words, the only people that like her right now is MAGA. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I didn't hear you say the number for the people that.
It's probably somewhere around the same as his approval rate.
So if his MAGA support is the same as his approval rating, then that's your number. That's telling you all you need to know. So what does that tell you, Tim?
That tells you he don't have any love from Democrats or independents,
or a lot of people that voted for him. Let's talk about that. And by the way, somebody in the comments just said bring up Minnesota, right? If you want to, about the Somalians, right?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, Tim. They love to talk about. See, and it's so funny. This is how you know who you're dealing with, right? They bring up Minnesota about the Somalians. That same person, Mr. Garcia, whoever that was, didn't talk about Minnesota when the politicians were unalive. But let's talk about Minnesota and Somalia.
Real quick, I'm going to have to move it on shortly, but go ahead.
So, is there fraud in Minnesota? Yep. Should they be held accountable? Yep. Was that a condition, or was that a condition that Trump set in place when he was in office? Yep. Because when all that money was being handed out, the PPP loans and all of that, Trump got rid of oversight. And I'm not blaming him on what they did, but he removed oversight, and there was tons of fraud with PPP.
I don't like it for two reasons. First of all, I can tell you for damn sure the Somalis ain't the only ones that committed PPP fraud. That's the first thing. The second thing is, how the hell you gonna damn an entire group of people for the actions of a few? I mean, we still go to Catholic Church, do we not? Considering how many of them have committed major felonies. I don't like damning the whole Somali population for the actions of some of them. I mean, you're gonna call the kids and the juveniles garbage too. They didn't receive a PPP loan. Everything about that is bad in my opinion.
Of course it is, Tim, but they're not gonna talk about that shit. He wants to send even U.S. citizens and these same motherfuckers that voted for him. So get on the boat or get on the plane, wherever the fuck, because they voted for this shit too.
How about this? Now, I don't have the numbers, but this seems astronomically high. In the comments, someone with the name of Sixpack, that's a pretty good core. Sixpack says 88% of Somalis are on welfare. 88%?
Yeah, the number's not that high, Tim. But
that's
again,
exceptionally high.
The Trump administration is this campaign of demonizing people is working for the racists. When you said you went to a rally and he was charming to the racists. He was charming to those people that don't give a fuck about other people. How many comments have I seen going, good, they should have tapped it 4 times, and all of this shit, right? And Tim, the very ones that are tapping are the same ones that were talking about Lincoln Riley. The same people. The same fucking people. The same people in the comments right now. Well, Lincoln Riley, and we need to. So you don't give a fuck about people. You only care about those things that make you feel comfortable, to demonize someone else. That's it. That's it.
I don't disagree that is certainly the way our political sphere is ran. I got to move it on, Mike.
It's not just politics, Tim.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I agree with that. But I got to move it on.
It's not just politics. Yep.
All right, Mike. Appreciate it. And yeah, I don't agree whatsoever in demonizing it. Like, for instance, what happened with the National Guard in D.C., where this Afghan national went to D.C. all the way from Washington State, and he ended up taking the life of a National Guardsman and critically injuring another one. And now we're going to demonize the entire Afghan population. I don't like that. To me, that is kind of what Mike was talking about. It's either racism or something of that nature. Look, every group of people, how many times do you hear anytime there's somebody attempting to demonize law enforcement, 99% of them are good, or it's just a few bad apples? Why does that not apply in these cases? Why is it? Because there's a lot of bad cops out there. When you take into consideration how many videos and how many clips you've seen of cops doing wrong, you got to assume that you're not seeing them all. What you see is only a scratch of the surface. Most of the bad behavior of law enforcement is not captured on video. But yet every time that happens, we keep defending law enforcement as it's just a few bad apples. Every profession has bad people in it. Why doesn't that apply to these groups? Like the Somalis and the Afghans and the Venezuelans. Why is it that when one of them do something wrong, the whole fucking group is bad? Whatever happened to 99% of good or a few bad apples? Somebody help me make that make sense, because the Afghan national's been in the country, I believe, since 2021. They haven't been committing any significant amount of crime. You haven't heard anything about that. So why all of a sudden they're being demonized? I bet you there's been a hell of a lot more police officers committing crimes since 2021 than Afghan nationals. So make that make sense. Anyway, going back to the box, tap the screen, get the likes on up to 50,000. You guys know how the program is run. We don't block, ban, or censor anybody. Did they deporting whites after Dylan Roof? No, you're not going to be deporting white people. Yikes. Tap the screen, get us up to 50,000. Certainly, if you're watching on YouTube or TikTok, feel free to follow the program. We have open dialogue every time. We generally Monday through Fridays when we're here. We run shows on the weekend as well, but if you favor this type of dialogue, feel free to follow the program. If you're currently watching on YouTube, give us a sub. Looking in the comments real quick, Sticky Finger says, by the way, Trump ain't shit. Jesus. Says, Tim, you need to ask about if they are going to free Tina Peters. Ask Mike about that. That shit's good. Who's Tina Peters? I've heard that name. Who is Tina Peters? Someone let me know who Tina Peters is in the comments, because I'm help refresh my memory, because I don't know who that person is. Real quick, looking in the comments. Tampon Timmy Tim Walz for VP. Not. Well, he's not running again. I don't think Tim Walz is going to run this go round. I don't know. I think that if Tim Walz, though, I think if he was seeking the nation's highest office, if he ran for the Democrat ticket, I believe that he would. Listen, I actually believe, maybe I'm wrong, you guys can let me know in the comments, but I believe that if Tim Walz ran in the primary for the Democrat nomination, I think he would have beat out Kamala Harris. Let's say, for instance, Biden rather. Biden was a one-term president, did not even attempt to run for a second term, transitional president. So that means the Democrats had to choose, or better yet, got to choose who they wanted to elect. I think if Tim Walz had been in there, I think he would have done better than Kamala Harris. Remember when Kamala Harris had to run herself, she didn't do very well. I think Tim Walz would have beat Kamala Harris. That's just my opinion, though. I mean, you think about his background, he checks off a lot of boxes. Now, Kamala Harris, on paper, is certainly qualified for the job. But when you're running for president, it's not just about being qualified. It's how you relate to the people. You can be woefully underqualified, but if you know the right shit to say, you can win an election. Santos in New York, the disgraced congressman, talking about his mom was part of 9/11 and all that. He won. He was completely underqualified. If you just know what to say, it's going to help you out a lot more than what's on your resume. And I think in Tim Walz's case, I don't think he is as qualified on paper as Kamala Harris, but I do believe he would be a better speaker to the. Well, he is a governor. I mean, I still think Kamala Harris might be a little bit more qualified, considering her stair step through the ranks of, attorney general and Senate and vice president and all that. But he is a governor. Anyway, looking in the comments here, she is in state custody. They trying to get her federal study. The governor is holding it. I don't know what you're talking about there. Real quick in the comments, yes, Tim, if you have a lot of money, you can win as well. All bought and paid for. Yeah, but there's also been a bunch of very wealthy clients like Bloomberg for Marion, New York. Wealth certainly helps, but you can lose being exceptionally wealthy. Keep in mind, Kamala Harris had over $1 billion in the 2024 election, and she still lost every swing state. Let me go back to the box. We'll go to Red G. Jasmine Crockett for Senate says, I can't see the name. There's something more, 9513. Red G, good evening. Red G, you're on mute. Can you hear me?
Democrats are completely delusional. I'm so glad they're gone now. It's insane. They're telling us send boats across the universe to pick up drugs and bring them back here. What are y'all talking about? What is wrong with y'all?
Well, the belief is, Red G, is that the boats being taken out, the information given as to why they're taking them out, people believe that information is not accurate.
We can't figure out what's in the boats. We don't know how much drugs or what kind of drugs are in the boat. We need to bring them here and sniff them so we can figure it out. We don't know how much. That's that's crazy, bro.
Is it possible that you, as like my last caller was saying, is it not possible you could disable the boat at sea, board it, take into possession what's on it?
Why?
Because that's what we've always done. That's what every
That's what
country.
we do when it's already here.
That's what every country on earth does, Red. They don't kill
Every
the people
country
at
on
sea.
Earth goes into international waters, takes a bunch of drugs, and then brings it home. We know what happened the last time the CIA brought drugs here.
Yeah.
Where they put it.
What are you saying? They're gonna bring the drugs here and do what? What are you trying to indicate?
Well, Democrats like to bring the drugs here and then put them in black communities.
So are you saying that the black community was indeed flooded with drugs by the
That's
government?
A fact. That's a fact.
But only Democrats.
You look it up.
But only
that
Democrats.
was another lie that they told then, and then they later released the evidence on it, which the government has always done. I don't know why we're acting like they just invented classified and top secret, and the government lying just started right now today. But
you believe
That's
that the black community was flooded with drugs, but only by Democrat politicians.
I'm just saying that you just had a Democrat up here saying, "Hey, no, we need to go get the drugs. We need to bring them here." That's what he just told us.
Okay, but you're the one that diverted to being flooded in the black community and through Democrats. Are you saying that only Democrats did that?
You asked me if we should bring it here now, and I'm just saying,
Right.
It seems convenient that you have a Democrat that wants to bring him here, and the last time they brought him here, they flooded into the black community.
Okay, but I'm going back to since you're bringing up what happened in the black community. Are you saying that drugs are put in the black community only by Democrats?
No, you just happen to have a Democrat sitting here telling us that.
Okay, so it was done by both sides.
He's telling us we don't need to leave them in the ocean. We don't need to just blow them up and leave it. We need to send a boat because the video footage that we can see, there's no fucking fishing poles. Even though this is a fishing boat, they're going fishing. Oh, these are bags full of fishing grease.
Well, there's a lot. I do agree that when you look at the footage, you cannot see any fishing poles. So I understand why you're challenging whether they were fishing poles. However, you cannot. Another thing you cannot tell as well. There's no way to be able to tell that far away that their destination was the United States either, right?
You don't think the FBI or the CIA or you don't think with all of the government resources they can't figure out what's going on?
I was told they couldn't even figure out who won the 2020 election. What changed?
So we have literal drug enforcement agencies that do this for a living. Whereas in the election, there's the election oversight committee is trash and everything's ran by the
So,
states.
but that's a federal institution. Wait a minute. So you trust the Fed?
Completely separate idea.
Okay, so
And
you
then
trust
also-
you trust the FBI, but you don't trust the election and oversight committee.
I trust video footage of a drone strike where I can see that there's bags and barrels of drugs. You can literally see. Have you seen the image?
Yeah, I've seen the image.
Is that a fishing boat? Did they have nets? Did they have any fish?
The only thing I will give you likely is that I can see the argument made that these are not likely fishing boats. Certainly with one of them being a submersible. That's about the only argument I will give you. The argument that you know they're coming to the United States, even if they're carrying drugs, you got to prove that they're coming to America. I don't see any evidence of that.
Why do we have? Who do we have to prove it to?
Because you don't have a right to go in international waters and interfere with some shit that has nothing to do with you.
Who's gonna stop them?
Just because nobody can stop you don't mean what you're doing is not wrong. Okay, yeah, America could do all kinds of shit that nobody could stop. That don't mean it's right to do it.
So we should just let them transport the. Just let them do it.
So in other words, if somebody is carrying dangerous narcotics from the likes of Venezuela to Guatemala, America should stop it.
If they're in international waters and we have conveniently located a strike that can stop these from ever going anywhere, why would we not do it?
Because you're killing people and providing no evidence other than we just have to trust you. If they were taking
Who are
people,
we providing evidence to? What are you talking about?
we don't even know the names of the people that's been killed. Nothing's been
Why
provided.
do you need to know their names?
What?
Who do y'all think y'all are?
I don't know. Concerned citizens? Is that okay?
Concerned for what? It has nothing to do with you. It never made it here.
How do we know it was coming here to begin with? We don't want to. Here's the point I'm trying to
It's
make.
not your business because you do.
It is. Yes, it is our business. If our nation is going overseas in international waters somewhere, killing people. When them folks get angry and respond, they're not going after Trump. They're going after you and me on the subway somewhere while you're in the supermarket. You're going to pay the
Obama
price
did
for
it, y'all
that.
didn't cry at all.
What?
Obama did it and y'all didn't cry at all.
Obama was blowing up boats in international water and posting it on TV so they could see it.
Citizens.
Obama was not blowing up citizens floating at sea. What are you talking
It
about?
doesn't matter. Why does it matter if they're at sea or not?
Because Trump appears to be bragging that he's killing people.
You just had a Democrat come on here and say, why not blow them up on land? Why not strike the land? Do you know how dumb that sounds?
Listen, I'm not suggesting you strike them anywhere without showing ample evidence of why you're doing it. Trump is just talking about, I did it because of this or that. Okay, well, show some evidence. The entire world seems to think that what he's saying is not true. Even the United Kingdom has publicly stated they are no longer going to give us any intelligence because they believe what we're doing is in violation of international law. That's one of our closest allies saying that. Why would they make that up?
No, it's not. Because your closest ally is Israel. Y'all give them power to do anything and everything they fucking want to. We went to war with Afghanistan. Y'all didn't ask for no fucking
Who's
evidence.
y'all?
Ever.
Define
All
y'all.
these weapons of mass destruction. Nobody ever asked for evidence.
Define y'all.
The whole United States.
Okay. So in other words, Israel's.
Where are the weapons of mass destruction, Tim? We went to war for 20 years. Where is it? Where's the evidence?
There still is none. But I'll tell you it is.
So what?
Hold on, hang on. I'll tell you it is.
Evidence.
You mentioned the Democrats flooding the black community. When that war was taking place, the Democrats were against that war from day one. You had the Cindy Sheehan types. Your side was calling everybody unpatriotic for just like now you're saying trust Trump. Hold on. Just like now,
and Joe Biden was the vice president.
Just like how you're saying now that we should just trust Trump. You were saying we should just trust Bush during that war.
I'm not saying trust anybody. I'm saying
you are.
They have always lied. And they're not going to tell you the truth. They've never showed us proof of anything. They declassify shit on average 70 years after it happens.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the right was criticizing anyone that questioned that event as being unpatriotic, just like they're doing it now. When that war took place, when that war took place, anybody questioning that war was unpatriotic, and they were supporting terrorists. Now they're supporting drug dealers when they question this one. You guys just want to take the government's word at face value?
I'm not saying take the word. I'm telling you that they're going to lie to you. I'm telling you it's a fact that the government lies all the time.
Does Trump lie?
Well, why are we acting like that is just specific to Donald Trump?
Because you don't ignore one lie because it happened in the past. You nip it in the bud when you can.
KGP came on TV 32 times and said that Joe Biden would not pardon his son.
Okay, he lied. Nobody died from that, though.
Just he lied. It's cool.
Oh,
it's cool every time somebody else lies. So what is the problem?
He was kicked out of office.
Who was kicked out of office?
Biden. He was not going to win.
Come on. Tim, you're being absolutely ridiculous. Joe Biden served his entire time.
Who kicked Biden out of office? Biden wanted to run again. Who stopped it? It wasn't the Republicans. The Democrats pushed him out of the way.
Joe Biden at old age couldn't even come up there and talk for 1 minute, and Nancy Pelosi pushed him in a closet.
He still wanted to run a second term. Who stopped him?
But you said he was kicked out of office. He wasn't.
Who stopped him from running a second term?
But he served his entire term.
You're not answering the question I'm presenting, though. Who stopped him from running?
You just made a lie.
Let me ask it to you more. Okay, let me ask you the question clearer. Who prevented Biden from running for a second term?
We'll never know because the Democrats are never going to tell us the truth about it.
Okay, so he just wrote a letter and resigned for no reason at all, huh?
We will never know. We will never know.
So
but
what?
You said he got kicked out of office, which is wrong. He served his entire term. He wasn't impeached. He pardoned his son. He pardoned his whole family. And you're sitting here lying about it.
You will never know who inspired Biden to step down. Is that what you're saying? You'll never know that? You'll never know it was Nancy. You'll never know. I think you're ignoring history. You'll never know Nancy Pelosi. You'll never know Nancy. You'll never know George Clooney. They were public about it. How did you never know that?
What? Are you
What?
going to show us who wrote the letter?
No, I don't need to show you who wrote the letter. Everybody knows.
But we don't know.
Okay, so it might have been Trump,
Show
in
us
other
the
words.
evidence, Tim. Show us the evidence.
Okay. Then show us
We
the.
don't need the evidence now. Convenient.
That doesn't make any sense.
That you would show us evidence?
Okay. Listen, if you're trying to indicate that because we don't see the evidence, we don't know if the liberals even made Biden decide not to run again, I don't even know what to do with that. That sounds
All of a
insane.
sudden, you don't want evidence, Tim. You've been telling me this whole time
No.
we need evidence of everything.
All of a sudden, what you're saying don't make sense.
Tim, what you're saying doesn't make sense. You're saying the government needs to show proof of the things that they say so we can believe them. And then when I present you with the same thing, oh, we don't need to see it.
Biden stepped down. We're talking about Trump is
He
killing
didn't
people.
Step down, Tim.
We're talking about Trump
He served his entire term. Please stop saying that, okay?
We're talking about Trump killing people. Somehow Biden is coming to the conversation. I don't get it.
Right, because we compare presidents to other presidents.
That
You
ain't
want to talk about
okay. What did Biden do that's equivalent to blowing up folks with no proof or evidence of why he's killing them? Give me what Biden did.
Repeatedly.
Huh?
He lied. The problem is that you believe that Trump is not telling the truth, or you don't have evidence
So-
that he's telling the truth. So let's draw a parallel. When we don't have evidence, the Democrats are telling the truth. We have plenty of it. The government has been lying our entire life. We know that. They literally label shit as classified, top secret. We know this.
Didn't Trump promise to drain the swamp and not be a typical? So he's just lying like everybody else. Is what you're
Millions
saying.
of federal workers been let go.
Is Trump being
Got rid of
okay?
Congress.
You're rambling on, but you're confused. Is Trump being honest or not? Let me ask you a simple question. Is Trump being an honest politician or is he lying like everybody else?
You asked if he's.
I'm
draining
asking
the
you
swamp.
now.
You asked if he's draining the swamp. Can I address that question?
Sure.
Have we had millions of federal workers gone?
Yeah, and many of them have been rehired.
What are we saying?
Many of them have been rehired. I mean, what are you talking about?
Okay, some of them got rehired. Cool.
So he's draining some of the wrong people.
Yeah. If something is broken, you have to take it apart to fix it, don't you?
The fucking country? That's what he's doing, is taking apart the
Does
country?
it need to be fixed?
No, not to the level of what he's doing it. So the question,
I
so let
disagree.
let me present the second question to you. Is Trump being an honest politician? Is he an honest man?
Is he doing exactly what he campaigned on?
You're asking a question with a question. Is he being honest? I didn't ask you what he campaigned on. Is he being honest? Because
So, in order to address that, we would have to ask ourselves: is he being honest? Is he doing the things he campaigned on? Well, he said he's going to drain the swamp. We're seeing the swamp getting drained. He says he's going to get rid of the drugs. The drugs are gone. He says he's going to release the MLK and JFK files. They've been released.
Epstein? Why did you skip?
He didn't say
You
it.
brought
Never
up
said Epstein.
you brought up MLK and John F. Kennedy and
never said
completely.
Epstein. He made it
You
completely
brought
clear.
up MLK and
Once
John
you
F.
bring up the
Kennedy.
video,
You
you
brought
get
up John
no
F. Wait, hold on. Are we having a conversation or are you just talking?
You let them talk for hours.
Okay, are we having? I haven't hung up on you. You just keep talking on and on.
But you're talking over me.
Okay, speak and then listen. Go for it.
If you can bring up the video, he literally said, "I'm less likely to let go of the Epstein files because there's people that involved that could get hurt." He literally said that. He said, "I would love to release the MLK and JFK files," which he did.
So he campaigned on not releasing the Epstein files.
He was asked a direct question, and he said, "I'm less likely to release that one."
Okay, I think you're about the only person that heard. He said that before becoming president.
One in the chat, if Donald Trump made it clear that he was less likely to release the Epstein files. There they are. But
Okay, and I see a lot of folks that are saying he never said that as well. So
You want me to show you the video?
I don't have time to see the video now, but I would like to see.
Oh, okay.
You
You
can
don't have
inbox
time
it.
for
You can
video.
inbox. So you do believe Trump is being an honest politician, the war in 24 hours, all of that. He's doing what he
This is
campaigned on.
the most honest we're going to get out of a politician. Most politicians are liars.
This guy said he didn't even know Stormy Daniels. You think this guy's telling you the truth, huh?
I don't know. I never heard him say that.
Really? But you, do I need to show you the video? Because he said he don't know who she is.
Video. That's crazy. Now you got time. See how this is.
I'm just having a conversation.
Y'all got TDS, but I just want to say one thing about the 14th, and then I'm gonna drop.
Y'all are interpreting it wrong. Apparently, most Democrats can't understand what the word "and" means. It says all persons born or naturalized in the United States are citizens and subject to the jurisdiction thereof. Y'all are completely
So
forgetting
what is your interpretation of subject to the interpretation thereof?
Apply to you.
What are you trying to say?
Why do you have to talk over me? I'm explaining what I'm trying to say.
Because you're rambling. Go ahead.
I'm not rambling.
Yes, you are.
I'm
You're
giving
rambling.
you a coherent thought that there's nuisance to. So
Coherent rambling, but go ahead.
Hear it? Okay, so it says all persons born and naturalized and subject to the jurisdiction of the United States are citizens. And so there's an extraterritorial jurisdiction that applies to people that are not from the United States, right? There's a jurisdiction that applies to them outside of the United States. That's why they get deported.
No clue.
So they are not citizens of the United States.
Okay. That absolutely makes no sense to me. We'll see how the Supreme Court rules on it. I'll move it on, Red. Pleasure talking to you. Come on back anytime. All right, moving on with the program. Listen, I disagree with half of what he said, probably 75, 80% of what he said. But he did have a few points, such as you can't ask for proof for what you disagree with, but when the other side disagrees with it, you don't have any proof. I mean, he made a decent point, but comparing Biden's lies, because Biden did lie about not pardoning his son, but comparing that to killing people is where, well, they're both lying. So no, that part I disagree with. I will admit that previous politicians, including Biden, lying about not pardoning Hunter, they have lied, but comparing that to killing people while providing no evidence and suggesting, well, Biden lied, I might be lying about killing people as well. I don't put those in the same category. Just like a lot of folks on the right do not put laughing at the assassination attempt of Nancy Pelosi's husband in the same category with Charlie Kirk. Listen, it is what it is. Anyway, moving on with the program. Tap the screen, get the likes on up to 60,000. Understand, we don't block, ban, or censor anyone. Me and the last caller completely disagreed. He's obviously MAGA. We didn't cut his time short. We don't do that here. You do have a right to speak here. So we do. Looking in the comments, Sticky Finger says, this guy, he's referring to my last caller. He says, this guy is a serious extremist knucklehead. How many rocks does he have in his head? Because he is not making his statements crystal clear. Laughing my ass off. Oh my God. Listen, some folks favor their side of the aisle. Their politics are passionate enough that they don't really want to hear any counterpoints against their side. My guess is it's kind of like that. Jackson says no need to block. Yeah, we don't block candidates here. We don't block callers here. We disagree is disagree. That happens. Tap the screen, get the lights on up to 60,000. We'll take the next caller at 60,000. You can't be a politician and honest with the American people. It does not exist. I don't know, handsome conservative. You can't be a politician and be honest with the American people. Do you agree? Do you guys agree with that? I think you can. I think that it will make your journey more difficult, though, because in politics, you need to raise money and things like that. And there's going to be people who want shit for the money they raise. And the only way you can take their money and answer questions is probably to lie. I mean, like Elon Musk. Elon Musk donated a ton of money to President Trump. There's no way he could answer questions in regards to Elon Musk, honestly, without probably admitting he committed a few crimes. And that probably applies to many politicians. So I think you can be a politician and be honest, but it will probably be at the extreme lower levels where you're not taking this, like, fucking librarian, city councilman. I think you can do it as a judge and some of them folks. But yeah, when you're getting that to the national level, it's going to be real challenging to do that because your hands are in everything. Campaign promises are not really promises. Amber, really? Huh? So what are you suggesting, that if you make a campaign promise, you don't have to adhere to it because it wasn't really I got to disagree with you. Because people vote for you based on your campaign promises. I don't agree with that whatsoever. Because that was one of the reasons I stood up when I was at a Trump rally and gave him an applause, is he was talking about preventing John Deere from taking products out of this country and taking jobs. I thought the way he said it was good. The way President Trump stated it Just like raising minimum wage or no tax on tips. Those are campaign promises. People vote based on that. If you're a waitress, a Uber driver or something like that, where a large portion of your income is tips, when somebody's promising not to impose tax on tips, you'll vote based on that. Then the guy gets elected and says, well, campaign promises are not really promises. Yeah, that's real bad. Anyway, looking in the comments, most people that promise in their campaign usually doesn't act on it, but Trump mostly has. I don't agree with that, the Savage. I don't agree that Trump has actually delivered in most of his campaign promises. I think that if you favor Trump or you think the liberals are going to destroy the country, I think he could fail on as many campaign promises as he has. But as long as he meet a couple of them, because you favor him, you're going to just ignore it. I mean, ending the war in 24 hours, bringing down the price of groceries immediately. Trump has said several things that has not come true. Now, my last caller indicated that he never even promised to release the Epstein files. Or better yet, the way my last caller orated, he made it clear he was not going to release the Epstein files. Go tell that to Dan Bongino and Kash Patel based on what they were saying in their podcast. There's no way in hell people believe that electing Trump, you would not get the Epstein files. That is, he heard that in some obscure circle, because all of a sudden Trump gets elected and suddenly MAGA's like, well, he never told us. Come on now, really? Let me go back to the box. We'll continue on with Relentless Pursuit, I think it says. Good evening. Welcome to the program. The prices are high. Tariffs are an issue. I see that in the comments. Evil Major Boo, good evening.
Evening, man.
Now, get that. Is that the way you heard it, that President Trump promised that he was not likely to release the Epstein files during his campaign?
Yeah, I think he was sitting in the chair here today. He was shitting on himself, and then he was lying to us about it too.
Thank you for that, Jackson. So, yeah, my last caller said that Trump made it clear you was not likely to get that stuff.
Your last caller, he was, man, dude, like, what the hell? He was throwing up so many rocks and trying to avoid man, just shut up and just answer the damn question. Damn.
Listen, we get passionate callers. The man believes the liberals are. I believe he's Black MAGA, if I'm correct. But listen, Black MAGA, just like MAGA, they believe the liberals are mistreating Trump, and they're going to defend their candidate of choice.
Well, you need to call them Blaga, not Black MAGA. It's Blaga.
Blaga. Okay. Well, oddly enough, with what's going on with the Somalis, what's going on with the Haitians, which are all black people, by the way, Black MAGA is still on board. That has not wavered them one bit.
They need they need like some serious help, because Trump doesn't care about them. All right? Trump only cares about himself, his family, and his son. All he wants is that money and screw everybody else.
Well, people are going to bring up the fact that now he is bailing out the farmers and things like that. If you're saying he doesn't care about anybody, why would he bail out the farmers and help the farmers?
Because he has to look like he's really trying to help and to really, or he has to make a statement to say, look, I can be fair. Hey, I can still help, but I still don't really, or hey, I still don't, give a shit though. But
but does he really? After all, he's not running again, so it's almost like fuck what you think. I'm not running again. Well, he does have the midterms to worry about, which could lead to little nasty things like impeachment and incarceration. But other than that, he's not running again. And I see the comments. So hold on. I see in the comments. Seiko Love says the white farmers. Is there any indication that Trump is only bailing out white farmers? I haven't heard that.
Yes. Oh yeah,
Really?
that is true.
How can you do that? How can you only bail out white farmers in 2025?
Because, as I said, though, it goes back into what I said, though, like earlier, though. Trump only cares for certain types of race of, of the people, and he's not going to do anything, even if you're Asian, Hispanic, Latino, black, purple, orange, whatever.
So what are you indicating? He only cares, he only gives a damn about white people or something? You kind of named every other group in existence. Are you saying he only cares about white people?
Yeah, and that's how it is, though.
I don't know, because in the comments, Handsome Conservative says you can't only bail out white farmers. Tim, please stop listening to these people. I guess I would have to ask, how can you only bail out? That does seem legally impossible. How would he only be able to bail out white farmers? I mean, even if he only does like white people, let's say you're right, and he is some kind of racist extremist, how could he legally only bail out white farmers?
Because Trump has the ability to be very corruptive. Trump is very he can, or like, what is the term called? Like he can tap into other different types of the networks, and he can definitely have his way with how everything is like going now. Like here is a example. Right now, they are having this Hollywood type of a war with the streaming of the networks, though.
Okay.
I think the WB I think it's Paramount, Netflix, and the WB. They will all be going over to a major of a
you talking about I think Netflix and you talking about that merger?
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you getting at here?
And Trump wants to try to have it is a say so, like in that. And I'm like, dude, you are the president. Get your big, ugly ass nose out the streaming business. You have no way to be in that.
Well,
that
listen.
has nothing to do with the how the world is trying to be run now. Like, why is he sticking his nose in that?
Trump is a successful businessman. He's been a real estate mogul most of his life. He's been part of big deals. Anytime a big deal takes place, if Trump is required to allow it to go back and forth or not, he usually gets involved and wants something out of it. This is kind of like with the stadium. I think the Washington Commanders are getting a new stadium built in D.C. Trump wants his cut. I think Verizon was trying to merge with another company.
Right.
I mean, that's just the way he is. If you need my approval, then I want something out of it.
Right. But it's like, man, look, just do government type of work. It's just like he just wants to know everything. It is,
he likes to keep his thumb on the pulse of America. But how about this? Maybe we're judging Trump on an unfair plane. Really, in the comments says we're just mad because Trump won't hide shit like other politicians. So in other words, what Trump is doing is no different than what a lot of these other politicians did. And thank you, gangsta grandma. What he is saying is that Trump is not doing anything unusual. It's just that because he's transparent and out in the open with it, liberals are criticizing him. Can you see any validity in that?
I would say if we had Kamala Harris in the office, we wouldn't be dealing with all this.
So you think Kamala Harris would have been running the country better than the current president? You think the President Trump, current commander in chief?
Yes, yeah, and also that for some odd reason we would not be dealing with presidential type of health and issues. We need to start electing more.
Are we really dealing? Wait a minute. You said presidential health issues. Are we really dealing with health issues from Trump, or is it just what the liberals are saying? I mean, Trump is on TV almost every day. Yeah, we've seen his ankle swelling. We've seen makeup on his hand or whatever, but he is pushing on through that stuff. I mean, it's not like he's taking huge breaks or disappearing. Look, he's had a couple MRIs or whatever, but he is pushing on. Is he not?
He's pushing, but he's also making it a lot worse for him now. So,
what makes you say that?
Because here today, he wasn't really, like here today, he wasn't really moving like his arms though.
Yeah, but he's doing what it takes to run the country. Okay, so the man isn't standing up there like one of those little blow-up dolls you see in front of the car dealerships with the arm swinging around. But I mean, he is running the country.
I wish he was.
Yeah, but he is running the country. Real quick, Me Too says Trump only likes rich white people. Damn, those farms that he will bail out are mostly owned by his rich buddies, like Bill Gates and Elon for data centers. Is Bill Gates a buddy of Trump's now? After all of the shit he took from the left?
I highly agree with him. Yes. Hell yes.
Wow. Bill Gates is on board. Bill Gates was liberal personified, if you asked the right a few years ago. Now, really? Bill Gates?
It's true. It is.
They were putting Bill Gates in the same sentences with Dr. Fauci. All of a sudden, Bill Gates is on board. Now, I tell you, it's amazing what a little bit of money would do to MAGA, huh? Just give Trump some money, and all of a sudden, took him out of it. Because they were painting Bill Gates as part of the deep state and, what they call it, a New World Order and all of that shit. Now,
right. It is a new world order.
Oh, my God. Bill Gates is on board. Why? It don't take much, huh? Just a little bit of money. I got to move it on evil. But what a crazy ride, man. Real quick before I let you go, you think Jasmine Crockett can pull it off down there in Texas running for Senate?
Honestly, yeah. I would like to see it, and I think that she can definitely get over on the governor of the Hot Wheels there. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good old Hot Wheels. That would be Gregory Abbott in a wheelchair calling them Hot Wheels. So she's a troll just like Minnie on the writer. I got to go, Evil. Thank you for coming through.
Hold on.
Real quick.
Oh, yeah. Also I wanted just to know, do you think that Trump will give a pardon to Tina?
Who the hell is Tina Peters? Who is this woman?
So so if you go back, she's the woman of the lady that she tried to tamper with the elections.
Yes. Yeah, that's all I need to hear. I don't know who she is, but yeah, if she was trying to help Trump in the 2020 election, yeah. I think I'm not even for certain the dude who was planting bombs may not get a part. He may have been in the tanning salon a little bit too long, but otherwise, I think he may have even had a chance to get a part. Because Trump is already talking about he's got to look into it and how bad he said that today. He said this, that January 6th, the whole thing is a Democrat hoax. So I'm not even for sure if the pipe bomber may not get a pardon. So, but this Tina Peters. Go ahead.
Honestly, though, I would like to see Trump give a pardon to that Luigi.
Oh my God! But that's not a federal crime. That's a state crime. So he can't pardon him. That's not a federal crime.
Hey, he should though, because he likes to dip his, he likes to dip his, like his nose and like everything. So hey, why not?
You can't pardon a murderer, can you? No.
Trump is a felon. Come on, man. He's a see.
I'm not arguing with that.
Come on, man.
I'm not arguing. I'll just say no. He's not going to even entertain. Well, like I said, he cannot pardon Luigi Maggione, but I don't think he would even entertain it. But the pipe bomber, I don't know. If that guy says a bunch of good shit, who knows? I got to move it on, Evil. Thank you for coming through.
All right, man.
Anytime.
All right.
Tap the screen, folks. Get the likes on up. We can make 80,000 if you let your thumbs not be lazy. Why are there two men who can't put a sentence together talking to each other, and I have to listen to it? Well, Lisa, who obviously is not a man, I appreciate you tuning in. We can string together a sentence. Come on now, Lisa. Yeah, I am a liberal, and this caller is not doing us any favors. Why you guys got to be so horrible on my callers? Before we go to the next caller, Gangsta Grandma, I appreciate that. Real quick, Tina Peters. Okay, I had to get cued. I had been hearing the name tossed around. Just AI says it likely refers to Tina Peters, the former Mesa County, Colorado clerk who was convicted and sentenced to 9 years in prison for a 2020 election security breach stemming from her attempts to find evidence of voter fraud and promote false claims about election tampering. Though she maintains her innocence and is appealing her case, she gained notoriety for allowing unauthorized access to voting machines and now is incarcerated while her legal team pursues appeals and seeks release, with some figures like Donald Trump advocating for her freedom. Yes, she will be pardoned. Yeah, I would bet money that she gets pardoned. I'm surprised it ain't happened already, but yes, she will be pardoned. She checks off every box for that to happen. 9 years, that's no joke. Why they gave a woman, white woman, 9 years, huh? Jesus. I'm sure Trump is going to say she got over sentence. That's a lot. Let me go back to the box. I do believe interfering with an election is a federal crime. Gangsta Grandma. Well, because I see some folks are saying it's state charges. Are you saying that she wasn't charged federally, huh? So what are you saying? He cannot appeal it? He cannot?
He can't. It's only state. That little fucker can't do it. Ha!
Okay.
They can go suck all the dick that they want. They can't get it. So tell me why I lost my brain cells. Listen to that fucking black ass maggot. You need to add me because see, you don't push back. Let me tell you
what
something.
the hell? We had a.
No, you didn't push back like that. Because let me tell you something.
Fuck out of here. We had a goddamn screaming match going on. What do you mean I didn't push back? We had a goddamn screaming match going on.
Boy, now sit your ass down somewhere. You did it. You're like a little. You're a pansy, okay? Let me tell you something. Now let me school that uneducated fucking damn redneck motherfucker, okay? It wasn't the Democrats that did the deeds in our communities, you dumb nuts. It was the Republicans. And actually, it was, what's his name? Reagan, you numb nuts. You left behind fucking jackass.
So you're saying Reagan is the one that flooded the black community? I thought I had heard he went back as far as fucking Nixon, but I have heard Reagan as well.
Yeah, that probably was Nixon too, but it was a Republican that you're on your knees for with that damn white cock in your mouth saying, yes, master, you fucking numb nuts.
Well, listen, I didn't agree with
bitch.
I clearly did not agree with him, as you may have heard. I mean,
you don't push back. You know what you should have said? Go with your dumbass numbnuts and go and research the shit. You feel what I'm saying? But no.
Well, we were.
Be nice.
Yeah, I see that. We were absolutely pushing back. I mean, just not to the level that may have satisfied Grace the Grandma.
If you would have pushed back, then he would have known it wasn't a Democrat. It was a Republican.
Well,
that's why I'm trying to tell you, Tim. You have to push the fuck back. On God, you do. Because that's the shit that got us in trouble the last time. Everybody was spreading misinformation.
Well, thank you, Freedom Fighter, in the comments. He says Tim did push back. Yeah, I was pushing back on every damn thing the man said. It just ain't
not really. That wasn't no push. Why didn't you say go bring me proof, Tim?
What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Accuse the man of sucking white dick like you do? I don't push.
I would have. I was like, you know what? Get off your knees. I would have said it too. Get off your knees.
We don't.
Get off your knees and go and show me proof.
respectful, Gangsta
No,
Grandma.
you know what? You know what? Let me tell you about respectful, okay? They voted for the Triple K. Why do we need to show them any damn respect when they asses put us in a situation? You know what? Now they're taking everything from black for us, okay? MLK, Juneteenth, they can't get into the national parks, but his birthday though?
You're telling me that merely voting for the
I'm
Trump
not white, no nuts.
you're telling me that merely voting for the Trump administration is akin to voting for the Triple K?
Yep, is the Triple K right there. Because he is a schmatzy. And he's doing everything. Everything. You see, if these motherfuckers had any kind of clue, and we tried to tell them, black women tried to tell their asses, you know what? The 2025 project is coming, and he's going to slam us with it. Oh, no. Oh, we need our gas prices have to go down, and he's going to do our groceries is going to go down, and he's going to give us $2,000.
What if he actually
They sold us out, man. They sold us out on a fucking wet dream.
Would you actually give the man credit if he did give us $2,000 in lower groceries?
that fucking white jackass ain't gonna give us shit. Or they gonna give us a fucking headache and a damn tax bill.
So, in other words, no matter what Trump does, you're not going to give him credit for it.
He's okay for one. Let me tell you something. His spirit is ugly. His heart is black. You feel what I'm saying? He's just pure evil. Why do you think he even said, I'm not going to go to heaven? Well, no shit. You're going to go to the pits of hell, bitch. And you're going to burn in it. Because he's a fucking pedo.
Okay. First of all, we have no evidence that Trump is a pedo. And also...
No. Sit your black ass down somewhere and shut the fuck up, get it out your mouth. Because yes, it's in the emails. Yes, Pookie and Ray, he's in it.
No.
Why do you think he's over here trying his best to start everything? Wars, everything to not get that shit done. And they told what's that white woman that just got that just left the MG, whatever her name is, the one that was up his ass and got the white C out of her mouth, and now she's like, I quit. What's her name?
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yes.
Even Marjorie Taylor Greene in her dissent of President Trump is not saying he's in the damn files. Where are you getting that from?
Yes, she did.
She did not.
He told her that she needs to shut up about it because it's going to hurt people. Who do you think he's talking about, Tim?
Could be innocent people.
Oh, Tim, get the cock out your mouth. Oh,
Why?
God. Quit gagging.
Why I gotta have
Quit
cock in my mouth?
gagging, man. An innocent man will say, release him. I have nothing to fucking hide.
Are you?
Why would you even what?
You got a dissenter by the way of Jeremy that wants to be.
Why would you even want to protect pedos, Tim?
Okay, wait. You have a dissenter by the way of Jeremy that wants to be brought up and talk to you. Would you take this call?
I'm sorry. It's one of my daughters. She get on my damn nerves.
No.
Why would you want to protect pedos, Tim?
Did you hear what I asked you?
No.
Jeremy, you have a collect call from Jeremy. Will you accept?
A collect call?
I'm going to bridge Jeremy on with you.
Oh, okay, bring him. I will roast his ass. Don't get mad when I have his crying. Don't get mad.
Okay, let's try to avoid the Republican tears.
No. You asked for it. Now I'm gonna drag his little $15 hour job ass. And don't tell me I won't.
Jeremy,
hey, Grandma probably needs to take her fucking meds anyway.
Oh, shut the fuck up with your cocksucking ass bitch. Go tell your mama that. Go tell your mama that. Hey, go tell her. You're still on your knees. Don't come and disrespect me. I didn't say two fucking words to you, you white trash ass. You white roach.
What the fuck are you gonna do about it?
Well, shut the fuck up. You ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna
You
do
ain't
shit.
gonna
You
do
ain't
shit
about
either.
that.
Okay, this is not a show.
You ain't a gangster,
Not
bitch.
about that. Yes, bitch. I'm a more of a thug than you'll ever be with your white trailer church ass. Don't ever get that shit twisted. I will put you under. Okay? I'll have your mama on a t-shirt with you. Get your fuck out of here with your garbage ass.
Okay, are we going to talk about the topic, or do I have to take you separately? You guys are just cussing
Let's
each
do
other
it.
out.
Let's
I
do it.
told you. What? What? You want
Let's
me
do
to
it.
like kiss his white dad's ass? Fuck no. All
Let's
he
do
is
it.
is no roach.
Oh, she's
Go get your
cowering.
Okay, wait, hang on, okay.
He is a roach for fucking Ray, man. He's a roach for fucking Ray. You know what I'm saying? Because this motherfucker voted for him. He is. I promise you.
Jeremy, okay, all right, now let's give Jeremy a chance. Okay, wait a minute, hold on. The show is
With
going
your
on.
uneducated bipolar looking at, oh no, I'm not a maggot. Because why?
This is a lot of white girl
Cock out
anger
your mouth.
right now.
Get the cock out your mouth, man.
There's a lot of white girl anger coming from.
Man, I'm not white, and you wish I was
Right now.
white. But I'm fucking
Yeah, you are. You're white
I'm
as fuck.
black, bitch. I'm black. My mama's black. My daddy black, and I'm proud to be black. Booyah, cuz. I would never want to be white. You guys
You're about
burning
as
the
black as
stars.
David
You guys
Duke.
don't take showers. You guys are spilled milk and every damn thing else. And you, oh God, get the fuck.
Damn, she hates Latinos like me, apparently.
You colonizer ass bitch. And what?
I'm
And
Latino,
what?
sweetheart. Try again.
Oh, yeah, you're a white Latino, bitch. Because you know why? Because if you was a true Latino, then you know that we coming off fucking shade, bitch. And we black as hell. But unfortunately, you're the
you're not
white
Latino,
one
sweetheart.
that voted for him. And guess what? Guess what, little boy? Guess what? He's coming for you next. He's going to take this shit
Yeah,
away.
sure he is.
Yes, he
Okay,
is.
all right, Jeremy, I'll give you a little bit of time after this. I'm gonna bring you back up, but I gotta drop you, and we'll continue on with the rest of Gangstagram because you guys are just cussing. That's not a show. That's not a show.
He threw us, a lot of us are Latinos. He threw a lot of Latinos underneath the bus. For what? For what? For what?
How did he throw?
And all that bullshit. He did. He
What
threw
the
a lot
hell?
of Latinos and black folks underneath the bus. But guess what, bitch? They're coming for you. He's taking your citizenship away.
How did he throw Latino? He voted for Trump, and even he admits he's not happy with Trump. How did he throw anybody under the bus?
Because not Afro Latinos do not vote for her. Vote for him. Not Mexicans sure didn't vote for her. 67% of Mexicans voted for her. But yeah, he still threw all of us underneath the bus. No fucking self. And I hope everything that he voted for comes his way, like his citizenship. Because he even said it. He's coming for them.
How about it from this standpoint? Could you not understand that President Trump is doing things that many Latinos did not expect him to do, and they thought he was just? Hold on, hang on. I didn't get to finish asking the question.
I know. Oh, a lot of them didn't vote for this shit. A lot of them didn't vote for this. They didn't know he was going to do. Yes, they did.
No, they did.
Because we told them. It's a project.
And Democrats don't lie. Democrats don't tell lies.
We told them. Black women stood 10 toes down, you dumb nuts, and told them he's going to take you out of this fucking country. It's in Project 2025, you numb nuts. We told you. We stood there and we told you, don't vote for him. He's going to do it. Oh, no, he's not going to do that. He's going to go take the criminals out. Oh, my God, we'll take the criminals. Only the criminals. Well, numb nuts, he's not.
Well, is it not true that being in this country illegally is a crime in itself?
No, it's actually it's a misdemeanor. And you have a 34 convicted felon in office, and he's a felon. You can't think about that, though.
Is a misdemeanor not a crime?
Oh, it's only a misdemeanor.
But it's a crime, right?
And they don't go to jail behind it. They just go and they get the papers and they got to get out of the country. And they don't degrade them like he's doing now. And he don't go you know what? When Biden did it and when Obama did it, they didn't make a big old circus about it. They didn't go into the churches and then to the hospitals and drag people out like the hard ass criminals. Or like he said, the rapists and murderers. No, the white man is. Why is he not dragging the white people out of this country?
Is there any reason whatsoever why it would be wrong to put someone out of the country that's here undocumented or illegally? Is there anything wrong with doing that?
Give them the due process. That's what people are saying. Give them the due process. He's not giving them due process. He's just going in and sweeping them out, just like the Germans. Our history is repeating itself. History is repeating itself. And he's going after the Somalis. And hey, they voted for the shit too, so FAFO. Nobody wanted to listen to black fucking women. They did. Oh, we're uneducated. Oh, we're just living on a plantation. Well, guess what? We're all fucking doing this shit now, aren't we? And you think Jeremy and shit, they're coming for him. Jeremy, what's that? Mega Reacts. All of them that are not from here, are not born here, or they're coming for your,
How can Trump come for citizens that are born in this country?
What are you he wasn't born in this country.
You saying that Jeremy was not born here?
No, he said he wasn't born here. And he said, clear as God made green apples, they said it, that he's coming for their citizenship.
Jeremy said he's Colombian, so you believe he has a green card. He's naturalized.
It doesn't matter, dude. He's taking green cards. That's why my auntie, it doesn't even want to come right now, because they said it. They even said they're taking green cards from them.
No.
Green cards. They're taking the citizenships. Everything. He said it. It's God made a little green apple.
Now Jeremy in the comments just responded. He says he's naturalized. You think they're coming in for him anyway?
The coming. Okay, believe it or not, he said it. He said it.
I haven't heard him really. I mean, he has indicated that green cards and things like that would be reviewed from countries of, what did he say? Questionable countries. I don't know if Colombia would count, but then again.
Oh, come on now, Tim. Colombia is where the cocoa comes from.
That is true. That is true.
Let me tell you, motherfucker, something. You might think you white, you starry son of a bitches, but you're not. If you're Latina or Latino, bitch, you're not white. Now, you may look white, but let me tell you something. He still don't like your fucking ruggedy ass. You big motherfuckers. You fucking rolled up tortillas. He still don't like you. So kiss all that. Get that cock out your mouth. You're never going to be at the white man's table, you dumb nuts. You're never going to sit at his table or anything else.
Jeremy says proud Latino in the comments. I see sticky finger.
Proud Latino, voted for a fucking motherfucker that's kicking all your people out, right?
Well, he did very well.
Dumb nuts. Oh, but you know what? That's fucking funny as shit.
Gangsta Grandma, he
What?
did very well with Latino males.
Oh, yeah. Guess what they doing now? FAFO, bitch. FAFO, because now the tables are turned. Now they're over here saying, I don't want to vote for you. I don't want the Latinas for Trump. They're over here crying. Well, I didn't know. I didn't know they was going to do all this.
Sticky fingers, I see your Jerry. This is not the Jerry Springer show. He's going Jerry. Now, Red G in the comments says, based on your antics, this is how Democrats act in 2025. No wonder y'all keep losing. Are you?
Are we losing? Bitch, are we fucking losing? Every special election, we're winning. Even when we didn't win in Tennessee, Trump won it by 22 points. It's down by 9 now. You think we're going to lose, bitch? Hell fucking to the no. The biggest blue tsunami is coming. Because if you think right now, oh hell, 28's coming, bitch, and 2026 is coming.
We'll have to see.
Pissed us all the fuck off.
I want to run this by you because you're always accusing me of fluffing and all kinds of other bullshit.
You are. Well, I can't stand your black ass.
But then have a seat if you can.
You should be on the news to a black woman, but unfortunately, you like those damn those snow roaches. Go get some raid.
You're making up shit. But I want you to answer this. Yes, you are.
Said, I love my snow. But
I said, listen, you're making up stuff. In the comments, Gangsta Grandma, hang on. In the comments, why even try is because this is along your lines. I'm hoping you don't agree with this, but I do want you to hear this. He says, you should feel stupid, Tim. You help certain people vote for the monster. Now, he's suggesting that I assisted in getting people to vote for MAGA or vote for Trump?
You know why? You know why though, Tim? Because you allow them to come up on your platform and you don't call the shit out, Tim. You don't push the fuck back. You don't tell them to go get the proof. Show me the proof or shut the fuck up. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You have to tell them to show the fucking proof or shut the fuck up.
Well, we don't. Well, first of all, we don't tell our guests to shut the fuck up. We have respect for MAGA and liberals alike.
Tell me to shut the fuck up. I tell you to get off the fucking news. I like that. You are like this. Oh, well, Tim, MAGA reacts. Can you at least show some damn proof? Come on, get that sugar out your tank and show me some proof. But you won't do that, Tim. You're like this, Timothy. You're like this.
Okay.
You don't show them. See, me, hey, you want to call me a thug? You call me a thug, okay? I'll tell their ass, shut the fuck up, go take your ass, swipe out, and show me where it says da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and then we will have a conversation. But no, you don't do all that, Tim.
We do push back. I'll tell you one thing. Reggie in the comments said you're convincing him to vote for MAGA more than I am.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Get the cock out your mouth.
And thank you.
You know what? All you motherfuckers, let me tell you this, guys. Let me tell you this. You black maggots, the one that voted for him, your day's coming. Because if you honestly think he likes your black asses, he doesn't. He don't like you. He never will like you. And if he liked your asses, then why is he taking everything black out of the damn, out. Why is he banning black books? Why is he taking, free shit away from us? Why? Why is he doing that? The 3 days after the park stuff. Why is he doing that? Why is he taking Juneteenth from us? And then putting his birthday. Why is he doing all that if he's not racist?
You do realize that President Trump has stated several times that he has done more for blacks than anyone since Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, he's doing more. No, he's taking out more. Juneteenth. He tried to take the pilots, right? And stuff. He tried to take my husband's name off the wall in Arlington. So shut the fuck up.
Why do you gotta listen? President Trump has promised to just merely make America great again. So why discussing it?
Okay, Ted, get the white cock out your mouth again. It started to drip. At least have some damn kind of black protein up in your shit. Some chocolate protein. At least my shit, when I go down on a fucking man, it's chocolate, man. And I don't die from the shit. I don't get no salmonella from the shit. You get salmonella and God. Believes in every damn thing else. Honey, when I get chocolate protein, honey, it's good for my soul.
Okay, well.
And I don't die from the shit. You feel what I'm saying? Take it from a real black woman. You can't even get one. You only like the snow roaches.
What the hell? Why does that keep coming up?
You didn't say that, Tim.
I did not say that.
You said on your show, on your life, you said, I love me some snow bunnies.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
I did.
Yes, you did. I said, what? I said, you like your snow roaches. I said, do not insult the snow bunny because the snow bunnies are fluffy and white. They are uncooked protein. They are the snow roaches of the Capitol.
What's wrong with a snow bunny?
Ew. What? The animal? The animals are cute.
Okay, you wild game. Some people eat.
The white woman is a snow roach.
Some people eat deer. Some people eat bunnies.
No, yeah, you like the uncooked protein pussy. Let's keep it a buck, okay? Because God forbid a black woman gives you some. You'll say, oh no, she's not black enough. Oh no, she ain't good.
Well, I never. That is absolutely false. I gotta go. I have gotta go.
You do want to go, but Tim, at the end, let me tell you something. No, on some real shit, Tim. If he wasn't racist, then why is he doing all this shit against us? Why? Why is everything he's doing is against black and brown people? You gonna tell me? Everything, Tim, everything. And you know what? I hope all that shit comes out about those boats. Because I don't give a fuck. I really don't give a fuck. If they did have the D on there. You cannot shoot twice and kill unalive everybody. That was against the code, though. And I hope they go down for the shit.
Let's see how it goes. Gangsta Grandma, thank you for coming through. Moving, they don't like you, and I'm getting all kinds of shit for Gangsta Grandma. Anyway, tap the screen, get the likes on up to 110. Marty Money, what about foreign diplomats? Are they under the jurisdiction? She's pissed the fuck off. Yes, Marty, Gangsta Grandma is yes, she's always on level 10. She does not have any other level on the thermostat. It just says 10. Sticky Fingers, appreciate it. Says, thanks, Tim. Just remember, I appreciate you. Gangsta Grandma, it's too bad that we can't be together. but just remember, I'm not the baby daddy. That came from Handsome Sticky Fingers on YouTube. Really? So you and Gangsta Grandma been kicking it off behind my back. Is that right? Is that right, Handsome Sticky Fingers? Anyway, let me go back to the comments. I want somebody to show us one racist thing Trump has done. Wow. I have a clip. I can show you something that he's, listen, I don't know what's in the man's heart, but he's done things that certainly justify questioning what he's done. I'll end up, I've played it many times. This is President Trump getting on the internet and saying that and posting that black people are responsible for like 80% of white homicides, which means essentially if you're a white victim of a homicide, there's an 80% chance a black person done it. Woefully inaccurate. I can play the clip of him doing it maybe in the show after my next caller, but yeah, to me that makes no sense at all. If you don't apologize for that, you just basically indicate that blacks are murdering whites wholesale. Yeah, that could be counted as racist. That's something he's done. He has done some things. I'm just going to say that. I'm just going to say when you say that Trump hasn't done anything racist, I don't know why people are calling him racist. I don't, look, there's no way to know if the guy is racist or not because he's not going to come out and admit it. But I'm just going to say that there is reason to suspect that he may not like African Americans. He has done some things. He has done some things. You're clueless, Tim. Here's $5 more to buy a brain, dipshit. Says why? Okay, what am I clueless about? Why even try? Let me know what am I clueless about? I'd love to know. Live Squad Nation says we had no problem with the highway of death in Iraq. That was way more than one missile and definitely killed innocents. Here's the problem, though. Comparing what happened in Iraq to what's happening off the coast of Venezuela, first of all, what's going on in Iraq was a war. And now it wasn't justified when you look back at the whole weapons of mass destruction thing, but it was a war. You were taking on armed combatants. What the Trump administration has done has made drugs akin to lethal weapons, even though the American population is demanding the drugs come here. They're not bringing fentanyl to this country, pinning people down and forcing them to ingest it. There are people waiting at the border with money to pay for it. So I don't see how we can compare Venezuelan drug dealers, and I'm assuming what Trump is saying is true. I'm assuming that they're drug dealers, they're bringing fentanyl, and they're coming all the way to America. Let's assume everything he's saying is true. That still doesn't put them in the same category as ISIS or Al Qaeda. Trump has deemed them to be terrorists. They don't fit the definition of terrorists by any means at all. They do not fit. They're not terrorizing anybody. They're terrorizing people in their own countries. Very few citizens in this country are terrorized by the cartel. In fact, this is the country you come to escape the cartel if they're terrorizing you. That's one of the reasons people claim asylum. Is you can come here and get away from the cartel. So I don't see how they're being placed in the same category as drug cartels. That's just my opinion on that. The rich are always trampling on the poor from the beginning. There's a lot of truth to that. Let's assume he follows the rule of law. Good luck with that. Let me go back to the box, tap the screen, get us on up to 120. I did want to bring up Dencal. Good evening. Welcome to the program. Did we lose Jeremy in there? Dencal, good evening. What about stopping the fees at parks for MLK Day and Juneteenth? It's not look, it looks bad. Real bad.
It's racist. It's not. It don't.
No, hang on. If he cancels Juneteenth as a holiday, which I suspect he will, to me, that looks more racist than canceling. Because from what I hear, they move around holidays for fee days in national parks all the time.
Yeah, but it just so happens that the two that he removed from the free list are Martin Luther King
and Juneteenth
and the freedom of black people. You look. I know you got a show to run.
You guys be testing me like my fifth grade math teacher. But see,
come on, man.
And it's interesting you say that because in the comments, why even try says you help destroy our country with your both sides bullshit. So I'm now being held accountable for destroying the fucking nation. God, and thank you, Leo Place. Appreciate your support. I'm being held accountable for destroying the fucking country because I allow free speech. Really? God damn. Didn't take much, huh? So let me just continue on what you're talking about, though. I do admit, and this is why I said, even though I can't definitively say the guy's racist, there are legitimate things he is doing for why people are saying it, such as what you are bringing up now. Why would you target Juneteenth and MLK Day? If somebody says that's racist, yeah, you got to explain it. Why did you target the only two black holidays? It does look suspect. I'll certainly give you that.
And it's not just that one thing, because we're piling on top of a big pyramid of bullshit that goes all the way back to his father being a member of the Triple K. Like this is not just a one-off and he did something, or maybe something like Biden saying, if you didn't vote for me, you ain't black. And then they'd be like, oh shit, he's a racist, But when I can build the case going back from when his dad was
there's a lot there. Yeah, I mean he's constantly doing things that the African American community, if not minorities in general, are saying that looks racist, that looks intolerant, that looks bigoted. There's a lot of that. I mean, getting rid of dark immigrants while letting white immigrants stay in the country. I mean, that don't look right either.
That was one of the things I was going to bring up when y'all was talking about the immigration thing. Is like, of all of the people in this world that need humanitarian assistance to get away from tyrannical governments, he says the one place that they've been living in an apartheid state forever. They own all of this shit over there. Yeah. But they're the ones that are the victims now. And all of the people that have been abused by them for the last, century or so, those people don't deserve to come over here. And out of all of the countries, he picked Somalia, call them garbage, say they stink and everything else. And then he said, I could name some other countries. But he didn't. He only named that one, and he brought them out of the clear blue when nobody was even talking about them. So when you say, is he racist, how much circumstantial evidence do you need for it to turn out, so we can understand who a person is? Like, we can say that about anybody and everybody.
I mean, he said things that, at the very least, I would come back with an opinion of, just like with Charlie Kirk. People were saying the same thing about Charlie Kirk, and my response is, because Charlie Kirk was never seen really hanging around anybody African American other than Candace Owens, and I think once or twice with Kanye West, which ain't saying shit in modern times. But same thing. He has nothing. In any of his quotes, they're all negative. So what I said about Kirk, which is something I would say about Trump, is he appears to have a low opinion of minorities. Does that make him racist? Some would say yeah, some would say no. But he does appear to have a low opinion of minorities. Now, MAGA reacts, MAGA reacts said it's not that he hates blacks, he hates poor people.
That's even worse. Like, the Bible says, don't do that. I don't get it how that's acceptable.
He's not biblical. He's not religious.
It's not that he don't like black people. He just don't like nobody poor.
Well, I'll tell you, bringing up, the Bible. Trump is not religious. I don't even think that's even relevant in Trump's case.
But the people that are saying this shit, they call themselves religious. I'm not saying it for Trump's benefit. Yeah. I'm saying it because this is what they say that they believe in as they go to church on Sunday.
Yeah. They do believe in it. They do believe in it.
People said on Sunday when they was leaving church, when they was going to the public execution, those people who, some of them people and their children who were at those, them human roasts, they are now in positions of power in this country as politicians, as judges, all kinds of shit.
I don't understand how the evangelicals were ever convinced. I mean, there's nothing in Trump's past to indicate he's very religious. I mean, does anybody know of any church? If you go back before Trump came down the golden escalator in 2015, was he known to affiliate with any church at all? I mean, we can talk about Obama's, Obama being Barack Hussein, but Sean Hannity had no problem going to Reverend Wright's church. They knew what church he affiliated with. I mean, Trump has never been known to affiliate with any church. We know Biden goes to mass all the time. Bush went to church. I mean, he was never known to be religious.
Right. But then, Obama had to distance himself from his 20-year pastor because he said the chickens was coming home to roost.
Yeah.
But this guy, Trump got what is his religious mentor or whatever, that chick Paula White or something, the one that be speaking in tongues. Yeah, that's his spiritual advisor. And the other one who just went to jail for pedophilia. Those were his, and he ain't distanced himself from them none at all.
I mean, Trump just said recently he don't even think he's going to heaven. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't understand how he was able to convince. I mean, and then he's selling Bibles and people bought that shit. So I don't have any explanation for that. But Trump does not. He's never came across as being religious. He's just. I mean, but I will say this in defense of Trump. Even though he himself is not necessarily religious, he has done a lot for the evangelical community, such as the protection of sanctity of life. They've been going for an abortion ban for God knows how long. Thanks to Trump, they have gotten that. Trump has been.
So does that mean he gets a participation trophy?
Yeah.
Because as of like last year, the year before that, there's actually more of those procedures happening now than before. Now I know you say he did what they wanted him to do. But if he increased the amount through his actions, do he get credit for that too?
Well, they're going to give him a pass for that because they didn't think that out either.
No, not they. I'm saying you.
I don't listen. I'm pro-choice. I'm pro-choice. So if a woman, look, as far as I'm concerned, if you're not going to do a damn thing for that mother once the baby is born, you don't have any right to say anything about what she chooses to do. Forcing her to bring a kid in the world and then telling her, get the fuck out of here now is cruel. So I'm pro-choice.
We're not going to feed it. We're not going to give it a place to stay. None of that. We just have it.
Yeah, I'm pro-choice. I don't, listen, if it would be different if they were putting in all kinds of programs in place, just like with firearms. When people do this stuff, these mass killings, and they give you thoughts and prayers, and then they come out and say the Democrats got it wrong. It has nothing to do with guns. It's about mental health. And then they do nothing to address mental health. Some of this stuff seems cruel. Okay, so if you don't think the Democrats are getting it right, and you believe the problem is mental health, then it should be free mental health in every red state in existence. And it's no easier to get mental health treatment in red states than it is blue states. So some of the stuff is kind of like talking out the side of your ass.
Yeah, right. And the Jeremy asked, have I ever been to Somalia? And the answer is yes. Not to Somalia proper, but I've been off the coast where we were doing interdiction operations. That's back in the 2010s. I don't know if you remember when they used to be hijacking them boats, them ships.
Yep, the pirates. And off the Horn of Africa, whatever they call it.
Yeah. Holding them from that's Captain, what the name of that movie?
Yeah, with Tom Hanks in it, where they took I'm the captain now and all of that shit.
Yeah, when they used to take those large tankers and they would anchor them right off the coast of Somalia, while they was negotiating for their ransom pay. Us as the military, we used to have to go there and we used to do surveillance around them. Like, we couldn't engage with them, but we had to do surveillance to make sure that the people on the ship got food, make sure they wasn't getting abused. And those people were doing regular shifts, like a regular, every 6 to 12 hours, a new group of Somalis would come and we would pass them because we had to stay a certain, we had to leave the area when they went to swap units. And
they've actually they kill them now, don't they? I mean, now if a pirate, I mean, most of the cargo ships, they have armed crews and everything. They kill those pirates now, don't they? Because that stopped.
Yes, if they can, yes, they do. And a lot of them did start arming themselves. But we only come into the picture when they capture somebody and they're negotiating. When they're negotiating, we can't kill them because that means they got somebody that they can also do.
Well, yeah, but now with the armed crews, they're not likely going to be able to even capture anybody because it's usually a bunch of them on a little skiff or something like that with what amounts to a bunch of AK-47s or whatever. I mean, they got better weapons on the cargo ships.
Well, some of them do. Not every country and every big tanker is doing that. They got their countermeasure operations where they pull out the big fire hoses and try to keep them from coming.
Yeah.
But those Somalis have been they've become sophisticated as far as pirating is concerned, where they take out what they call, they go out and capture a mid-sized ship, and they call that the mothership.
Right.
So, so they way out there where you wouldn't expect them, but they might have 10 or 15 of those small skiffs that you think of. But if you only got 2 or 3 armed guards on your ship and they attack you from 4 different sides, it's kind of hard.
But what's crazy about that, though, when you think about listen, you got a whole fucking, mirror ship full of cars and millions of dollars in merchandise. Get you some motherfuckers who know how to shoot. You only got 3 people for, millions of dollars worth of merchandise. It's only y'all 3? It should be 50 dudes on that ship. I mean, you're hauling.
They in between the rock and the hard place because I understand what you're saying, and it sounds pretty simple, but I mean, they would basically be just intentionally going through like a war zone every time they had to go back and forth across the world, and a lot of them, they had to take that route, or otherwise they would have had to go all the way down around the Horn of Africa.
Now, I don't know. I mean, I think if you put a heavily, 10, 15 black ops guys with really good training on, the word would get out pretty quickly that trying to take these ships is a suicide mission. I think it would pretty much dwindle down to nothing.
Armed pirates don't get the messages like you and me do. They don't have access to social media and internet. I mean, these are literally just like we was talking about the people down there in South America. A lot of them are just farmers and people that the people, the leadership in Somalia have co-opted them people and said, look, either you gonna go do this for us or we gonna.
Yeah, people are going out at sea and they not coming back. I mean, they either got arrested or they got killed. I mean, how many of your people you need to see going out and not even the whole fucking boat didn't come back? They arrested the people and took the boat too. I mean, how many times you got to see this happen before you know these people are getting killed at sea?
Look, we have people doing the same shit in O Block in Chicago, in the hood. They still going in these neighborhoods. They ain't got no damn business. They know their homeboy they got jacked up over there, and they go over there anyway because that's where I'm getting my money, or that's where the girls at, or that's
yeah. I guess I'll give you the win on that. Listen, when people get desperate, no matter what you do, if people are that desperate, they're going to just keep coming. Like with Trump, he's blowing up, God knows how many boats now. And the Venezuelans do have access to television and the media. So they know he's doing this, and they keep sending boats out there. So
they're going to keep sending. Yeah. They said they hit about 20 ships in the last 2 months. Imagine the hundreds of boats that got past them. They thinking they stopping the drug trade in America. They are not. Crackheads still cracking, fentanyl heads still getting what they need. Ain't nobody in the hood. They might be using this as a way to raise their prices. Tell me, hey man, it's a drought out here, man.
That's
so they
a good
might
point.
be doing that, but everybody's still getting on. Everybody's still, the dealers are still riding around, and they selling.
You make a good point, because I'm sure customs, when you go across the international border, when you come in from Mexico, Tijuana, or El Paso or Juarez or whatever, they're catching people with smuggling drugs in their cars. They probably catch multiple people every week. And you're right, and they've been doing that for decades, catching people bringing drugs in the United States. And you're right, even with all of those folks being stopped, you still can get plenty of drugs on the street. So what Trump is essentially doing is taking a bucket and scooping water out of the ocean and bragging about how much water he took out the ocean. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do agree with that.
A good analogy I'll give you is remember back in the day, in the crack days, when their whole thing was they was snatching corner boys off the street. So you snatching up corner boys, and guess what? Tomorrow
There's another corner
it's gonna be the same amount. You don't stop the trade by picking up low level people. That's not because the real stuff is on planes, trains, and automobiles. So
That's a good point.
They
That's
can
a
pick
good
up
point.
as many small boats in the ocean as they want to. Most of the time they use them as decoys, and they don't care if the people get blown up on them anyway.
Well, and I see in the comments, somebody made a good point. It says, we called it paying taxes for the great. You're right. Listen, you've been bringing a lot of product across. I got to do something to let my people know that I'm worth the salary I make. Give me somebody. I don't give a fuck how low he is. You got beef with somebody. Give me one person bringing some shit over so I can make an arrest and show people I'm worth what I'm doing. And I do believe that. I mean, when you think about how long they've been bombing these boats now, they've only bombed, like you said, maybe a few more than a dozen, 20 boats. You're right. There's got to be dozens of them getting through with shit. Dozens of them in that period of time that's getting through with shit.
Can you imagine how much is being consumed in America on a daily basis? And you think 20 little bitty ass boats is going to put a dent in the amount of product coming from, and that's only from Venezuela. They ain't even saying nothing about Colombia and Honduras and all. What a guy who said he gonna shove 400 tons of the powder up the noses of America. So
why would they do that? Before moving on from you, why do you think in the middle of a drug war they would pardon a drug kingpin? You talking about Juan Orlando Hernandez, the what was he from? Honduras. The drug lord got a 45-year sentence. Trump shaved 43 years off of his 45-year sentence. Why do you think they would pardon him in the middle of a drug war?
Hey, all I can go by is what he said, man. He said he been talking to some people, and they told him it was a Democrat hoax by Joe Biden to lock him up. And so he thought the guy was being treated unfairly. I mean, that's what he said.
Oh my God.
So I can't think. I mean, I could think of other reasons, but it wouldn't be rational to MAGA if I say what it is.
Is that the secret phrase that gets the door open? Just say the Democrats. P. Diddy, look, the Democrats put all that baby oil in here. I mean, is that the secret phrase to just say it's a Democrat hoax?
It don't matter what they ask him. The first thing he gonna do is say, it would have never happened under me. The Democrats caused it all. And the chick Tina Peters y'all was talking about, that was the one I told you the other day. She got caught on video camera, letting these computer analysts go look at that is literally when we say somebody broke, voter laws, that's the perfect
They gave her 9 years in prison for that shit.
9 years.
Wow.
But because you gotta imagine all of those people that voted in her area, like she lost the trust of everybody. Everybody thinks that their votes don't count or been cheated now. So it goes deeper than just what she did.
Yeah, you fuck with the integrity of the system once you do that, because now we know there is cheating. That's a state crime, huh? I thought
that was a state crime. Yes, it was. That was not a federal crime because that was a local thing that she did. That was a local thing she did, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Trump won that area. So instead of Trump talking about somebody cheated, he should have looked at her and remember you had been saying that all along. It's like, why every time we say cheating, we automatically assume it was Democrats cheating. Yeah. But when we get straight evidence of Republican cheating, that don't matter. That don't matter.
That's the way it's been.
It is a state crime, and I told you the other day that Trump was threatening the governor, telling
that's who you were talking about. I do remember the conversation now. Wow. So he can't get her out, so he's threatening the people that can get her out, that if they don't let her, so he eagerly wants to get this broad out of jail.
That's one of his people, and that's why he about to mess around and let go the pipe guy, the pipe bomber, because remember, when they asked him, did he want to look through those people from January 6th, he said, no, fuck it, let them all go.
Right.
Now, this guy was one of the people from January
January 6th,
6th.
yeah.
So now his lawyers are saying he should be pardoned.
So, but last question: if he let this individual out who is African American, would that make you now realize the guy ain't racist? He let out a black. I got to show the run.
Because if he does have to let this guy out, it was a mistake. It was not intentional. So no, that does not apply.
All right, then, Cal, you drive a hard bargain. Thank you for queuing me in on Tina Peters. You did tell me that the other day. I didn't make the link of who you were talking about, though. That's crazy. That'll be a show in itself. I got to go. Appreciate it. Denkel, always a pleasure. Denkel brings the work. That was good shit there. Real quick, why even try is saying you're either too stupid to understand the words or you're purposely stupid. I said you helped. So he's saying that I helped inspire, I guess. I helped inspire people to vote for Trump. I don't know. I'm going to challenge. I'll give it to the audience. I don't think I did. I think everybody already knew. I've been on the air, 4 years, I think. So I was certainly around during the 2024 election. But I'll ask you folks, based on the show I run, by way of yes or no, how many of you folks think I'm inspiring people to vote for Trump? Type yes if you think that's the case, or no if you already know what the hell you're going to do come election day and it doesn't matter what the fuck I say. Type it in the comments, yes or no. I don't believe I'm inspiring people to vote for Trump. I see yesterday says I am. He's not for broke Americans, so I don't know why these people in rural communities vote for him and think they were that he was for them. That came from Damien. Now, most of you guys are saying no, thank goodness, but some of you guys are saying yeah. William says yeah. Reinforce MAGA delusion. let at that red hat in the background. I'll explain the hat in a minute. Tap the screen. You guys can help your boy finish off that TikTok cap goal. I think we're pretty close. You can get flaky, Tim. Billy Waff says, look, if you're married, chances are our spouses get flaky. That's just human. That's just mankind. What are you talking about? But why even try came down on me. He says, I do. Oh my God. He says, I do hate you, Tim. Just please explain how you aren't a complete grifter or fraud, please. Wow. A grifter. Fraud. What the fuck? Bama Landscape, appreciate that. Thank you very much for your support. Come on now, why even try? That's a bit strong. Says I do hate you. Okay, look, I'm not loved by everyone. I got a hater in the audience. Fair enough. But he says just explain how you aren't a complete grifter or fraud. What the fuck? I'm trying to figure out why I would even be considered as a grifter or fraud. I can't explain how I'm not a grifter or a fraud or a fraudster because I can't even ascertain why you're calling me that. That's like somebody asking me, explain how you aren't a white guy. Do I need to? I can't figure the case to the grandma. That is bad. Oh my God. That was awful what you just put on me. In the comments, Kiko73 says, Mexico is not sending their best. They're not sending their best. They're sending their drug dealers, rapists, and I assume some are good people. That's racist. Is it racist to say Mexico is not sending their best and brightest? They're sending their gangster grandma. Oh my God. You have to do that. Says Mexico isn't sending. Okay, when Trump said Mexico is not sending their best and brightest, they're sending us the rapists and murderers. Is that racist though? It's wrong. It's. I'm laughing because Gangsta Grandma is showing support to the show, but what she is sending me is I don't know. It makes me look like a homo. Why are you sending that shit? You interrupted my show. Okay, I appreciate the support, but that shit is funny. Saying that Mexico is sending their rapists and murderers, it obviously, just like I mentioned with Dan Carroll earlier, it definitely shows you have a very low opinion of Mexicans to say that, because obviously most of the people coming here from Mexico are not rapists or murderers. It's woefully inaccurate. It's woefully inaccurate. So is it racist? I'm going to go on record and say it could be. Like I said, you never know what's in somebody's heart. But when you're saying stuff like that, it's inaccurate, and it shows. Just like when he says, liberal cities are shithole cities and places that are primarily or predominantly loaded with African American gangsta. But places are predominantly loaded with African American citizens. Towns that have a lot of black people. That's a shithole city. That is, listen, I do believe that Trump could be like MAGA reacts to that, though. Maybe he has a low opinion of black people. Maybe he has a low opinion of poor people and he's not racist. Could be that, but yeah, when you start speaking in general terms like that, it doesn't look good. I don't hate you, whoops. All right, why even try? You had me, you were hurting me there. You almost seen a few liberal tears after that comment. Anyway, let me go back to the box, tap the screen, get us on up over 150. By the way, this remains uncensored programming, always has been, always will be. We're always MAGA friendly. That's why we hold. So, to explain the hat, somebody asked me to explain why the hell do I have a MAGA hat up. Many of you are aware, I've said this many times, is that I believe truly that conservatives, Republicans, and definitely MAGA do not often get a fair shake in the media, mainstream media. The minute they start talking, out come the censors, they're blocked, banned, and ostracized. The reason we show the MAGA hat here is to let you know this is a MAGA-friendly program. You don't have to agree with any damn body here, but you will always have your right to speak maintained in full, including MAGA. So that we say it every program. This is a MAGA-friendly program. That's why we say that, is that you can speak here regardless of if you agree with anybody. If you don't agree with anyone, we still will let you speak. You're not going to get blocked or banned because you support Trump or you lean right here. So that's why you always see the MAGA hat on the program. Hopefully that explains it. I know a lot of liberals hate seeing a hat, and it's led to me being called a Sambo. It's led to me being called a sellout, a raccoon, every other hateful, losing your black card name you can think of. But that's how the program has been ran. That's how it always will be ran. And Mr. Witt says that's dumb. Plus, you hit their picks back behind you as well. The pictures are a different explanation. The reason the picture of J.D. Vance and President Trump is posted is because that is your president and your vice president. Anyone that's been watching the show for any length of time, and all of my shows are archived on YouTube, you will know that when President Biden was president, his photo was in the frame, and it was along with Kamala Harris. Those photos were up. In fact, these are the photos that were there. So it has nothing to do with supporting Trump with the photos. The photos are there because that's your current crew in the White House. So if it turns into Gavin Newsom, or if J.D. Vance gets elevated to the top and Marco Rubio second, that's who you'll see. That's how the program is ran. It's a political show. They are your leading politicians. That's all it means. Anyway, let me go back to the box. We'll continue on with the show. I believe we were going to finish up with Jeremy because he got into somewhat of a spat with Gangsta Grandma. Good evening, Jeremy.
It's good to be back. Hey, Dan Cal. Oh, it's too late? Is that what you said in the comments to me? Anyway, good to see you, Tim.
All right. So you and Gangsta Grandma, obviously, there's no love lost there, but we're talking about President Trump. Listen, a lot of folks, you see the whole title of the show is Too Many Secrets. Why is there so many things happening around Trump that it just seems like, because remember, he was supposed to be the transparent president. All of a sudden, we're blowing up boats and not really giving any evidence as to why. It's just you got to trust him. I still don't know why Ghislaine Maxwell is in minimum security, or why we would be pardoning a drug kingpin in the middle of a drug war. Why? What does this make any sense to you?
Honestly, this isn't the same Trump that was in office in 2016. Like, I don't see them being the same in person. He's changed something along the way. He changed. Now, some things with like Ghislaine Maxwell, it's like there had to be some level of a deal cut so that way she could give them evidence and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure that's just kind of normal procedure. But
Wait,
obviously,
wait. Is it not possible? Is it not possible that Ghislaine Maxwell got put in minimum security for her releasing a statement exonerating Trump? Whether it's true or not, just say something good about Trump, and we'll make sure you're a little bit more comfortable in here.
Yeah, but how would we prove that until we see the actual court case go down and see it, and actually see like the Epstein files be released and all that?
But that's the point. He doesn't want the files to be released.
Well, actually, the Congress recently voted to have them all released,
Yeah,
and all it has to do is go across his desk.
But Jeremy, that's what I'm saying is that we didn't need Congress. All Trump had to say is release the fucking files. He could have told Pam Bondi to do that. Why did that? All the other things he's doing, blowing up boats, sending the military in the U.S. city, all of this stuff is without the approval of anyone. But when it comes to releasing the Epstein files, suddenly we need Congress. How does that look?
Well, I'm not saying that it looks good. Again, this is part of the reason why Trump lost my vote. It's because what he promised wasn't what he delivered. So again, if I have no regrets about initially voting, because initially what he promised was good. He just didn't deliver on. I only regret my vote because I didn't see what he said actually happen.
Now, let me ask you, because I had one of my callers earlier, one of my MAGA viewers was adamant that Trump ran on a campaign of not releasing the Epstein files, suggesting that he was only going to release the MLK and the JFK file. Is that the way you took it?
Nah, not at all. That person's coping.
You said that person is what?
Coping.
Coping. Okay, is it coping with a P or coaching LT?
No. With a P.
Okay. Wow. All right. Haven't heard anybody use that word in regards to Trump. And thank you for that cap there, Blue One Banks. Appreciate your support. So you see Trump as something, because you voted for him. You see him as somewhat of a disappointment, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the promised Trump would have been golden, baby. I would have thought that was huge. I would have absolutely.
Give me three of Trump's promises that you really voted, because you voted for him. You said if he had actually lived up to what he campaigned on, he would have been huge, is what you're saying. Give me three things he campaigned on that you really wanted him to do, or you really wanted, because he still could do it. You really want him to do.
Epstein files, number one. That's absolutely number one. Number two is being consistent with tariffs. Instead of like playing this little game of like, well, now I'm not going to tariff you anymore. Oh, well, actually I am. Oh, actually I'm not. Shut up, dude. Get it fucking straight.
It's a great point. It's a great point. What's number three?
Yeah, and number three would have been like to like. Here's the thing. I still think that ICE is very necessary, and I don't have a problem with the deportations, except I want more courts.
Thank you.
I want more courts to be used.
So you want due process?
Yeah.
I don't think those things are unreasonable. The Epstein files is something I think even the Democrats could get behind. What was the second one you said again?
Voters, at least the voters. Well, at least the voters.
I mean, I think bipartisan, both sides want the Epstein files released. What was the second one again?
Consistent tariffs.
Consistent. Now, I think a lot. Yeah, I think a lot of folks on the left and even some independents are not in favor of the tariffs at all. But you are correct. If you are going to impose tariffs, be consistent. I mean, he is doing some shit like I think Brazil has an individual down there that used to be the leader there, and they've arrested him, prosecuted him for trying to stage a coup.
Bolsonaro, yeah.
Yeah, and Trump imposed tariffs on that country because he don't like them prosecuting him. What the hell does that got to do with tariffs? I
have no idea.
Yeah,
I have no idea. I no fucking clue. But again, this is why it was such a disappointment to me. Look, I am not a perfect person. I don't think I would like I can't even run for president because I'm an immigrant. But
are they coming? Do you fear they're coming for you? As Gangsta Grandma stated.
No. Gangsta Grandma's a fucking lobotomite. She needs to take her meds and shut the fuck up. Honestly, and I'm gonna be fine. Okay, Trump is a lot of things, including kind of stupid from time to time, but he's not a racist. He's not actually a racist. I know that he's not because there's nothing to prove that he is.
Do you know of anyone that is a racist?
Yes.
Tell me what they did or what they're doing for you to feel confident saying that.
Nick Fuentes literally praising Adolf Hitler.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I think. I mean, that's really. Can you be a racist without doing something so fucking clear? I mean, obviously. What about Elon? My heart goes out to you. Do you think that was what many people believe they saw?
I still don't know what to make of that all 100% because honestly, it was very, very sus. I'll give you that. Like, it raised an eyebrow. I'm like, excuse me, sir, what did you just do? Oh, but I still don't know what to make of that because there's so many things that he does where he just looks like a weirdo. Oh, you know, that I can't completely get behind saying that it was one thing or another. But here's someone I'll give you. It was absolutely a racist. What was the name? Name. Sorry. I know the face. I just don't know the name. Clinton. Hillary.
Hillary Clinton?
Come on, Super Predators. You don't remember that?
I mean, what's the difference between her saying that in shithole cities or rapists and murderers or eating cats and dogs? I mean, what's the difference between those?
Oh, first off, Trump was just going off conspiracy theories. He wasn't really actually doing his research when it came to the cats and dogs thing. But also calling something a shithole is just looking at the policy and saying, "Oh, well, that's fucked. Look at the results." That's not saying that, oh, your skin tone makes you inevitably like this.
Well, the problem with the shithole comments is it always seems to be areas that have a lot of minorities. Because look, there's a whole lot of places in this country where people they don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out. They're dirt poor, their education, their schools are dilapidated, their roads are fucked up, and they don't call any of those places shitholes. He goes to places that are fairly civilized, like Chicago or Baltimore, where they got plenty of roads, plenty of schools and colleges, and he calls them shitholes. But they're like
because they're poorly run. They have all those things, but they run them poorly.
So when you got areas down in the southern region where, like I said, most of their kids are not graduating from high school, you know, half of them ain't even got teeth in their mouth and shit. And as against the grandma might suggest, they're sleeping with other relatives. How is that not a shithole?
I think it can go both ways. I don't see why not.
I don't see him calling those places shitholes though. It's always places that are laden with minorities.
Well, it's actually Democrat-run cities because he just hates the Democrats. But it's not a black or white thing. It's like he don't go to Vermont. He don't go to Vermont or New Hampshire. Those places are ran by Democrats. He don't call any town in those. He goes to places that have. There's plenty of cities that are Democrat-run that have no minorities. He's only doing it to minority cities. Give it time.
How much the guy has been a politician for almost 10 years now. How much time you need?
Also, I think the reason why he hasn't called out those other cities that are run by Democrats like that is because, let's be honest, they're just not as well known. They're not talked about as much in the media. Chicago has been a meme for a long time. Chirac and all that. Come on, Chicago really became well known as a violent city to the right when Trump became when Obama got elected, because Obama has ties to Chicago. Chicago had a history of tough gun laws. It's liberal everything, liberal governor, liberal mayors. So it made a perfect target, even though Chicago, as I often point out to MAGA Reacts, is not the most violent city in America. But because everything about it is liberal, they go after it. Like, you don't hear them talking about St. Louis because usually the mayor of Missouri is not a liberal. Same thing with Memphis, Tennessee. Usually the governor of Missouri is... It's a blue and red thing for him.
Right.
He's just going after the places that are kind of easy targets. And it's a bit of a meme. Also, by the way, I just want to make sure people understand this. A lot of people will say oh, there's all this violence. There's all this terrible violence that happens in red states where the Republicans are in charge. And then if you actually look at the cities that it happens in, which is where the overwhelming majority of the violence in that state happens, it's always in blue cities within red states.
Oh, wait. Say that again. I didn't hear that all.
The majority of violence that happens in red states happens in the blue cities within the red states.
Yeah, because that's where the people are. I mean, you're always going to have more violence in big cities and big cities are almost always ran by Democrats. You're always, if that's why you hear the right always attacking crime, because you're always going to get they don't attack poverty or infant mortality rate or the performance of young kids in schools or any of that stuff, because that's when Republican problems come in hand. If you just stick with crime, yeah, crime is going to happen in cities where there's a lot of diversity and a lot of people, and that's always going to be Democrat. Because diverse environments avoid the Republican Party like the plague.
To a degree. Here's what I will say.
Give me some
Here's what I will
examples.
say. Well, come on, Latinos heavily voted for Trump in the past election, so it's not all minorities. But here's something I want to say about all that, okay? When it comes to violence, it's okay, you will just see it on the left in general, regardless of where you are in the country or even in the world. I mean, you still haven't watched the video, have you?
No. I haven't had.
Send it to both your accounts.
I was watching my Bears lose this weekend, and I'm distraught about that. But
and I'm a Packer fan. Woo-hoo!
Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of here! Anyway, keep going.
Look, it's just been proven that the left does attempt more violent attacks. They're just too incompetent to usually see them through.
Well, when you say the left attempts more violent attacks than the right, I think the reason that is because a lot of people are being attributed as being left that are not. Like BLM is often called left. A lot of them folks that are rioting and looting, them people ain't even 18 years of age. A lot of them are juveniles, a lot of them are felons, and they're calling these folks the left. Those are not card-carrying Democrats. A lot of these people ain't never voted at all, but they're calling them the left. So I don't know, when you say the left creates more violence than the right, I'm not for certain of that, because most of the people that are committing acts of violence, they don't vote at all.
No, yeah, but of the people who are in those groups who are of age, Democrats overwhelmingly.
I don't think most of the people, certainly because a lot of us black folks don't vote at all. The ones that actually do get involved in politics and shit like that, most of them folks are educated, employed, and they're not out in the street committing capers. Like you go O-Block, like what Denkel brought up last caller. He talked about all the violence at O-Block. Ain't none of them motherfuckers voting. Ain't none of those guys out there voting. They probably 25 and under, carrying Glocks with switches and shit. Ain't none of them dudes showing up to the poll to vote. But they're considered.
There's some truth to that. There is some truth to that, but the ones who do vote absolutely vote Democrat.
Yeah, they're not committing crimes. The Democrats that show up to the polls are gainfully employed. Many are educated enough to get involved in politics. Them people ain't doing they're not committing crimes.
Wait a minute, are you saying are you saying that black people don't have low information voters like white people do?
I don't know. I think that the uneducated in the African American community, because remember, our community is the one that does not participate in elections more than any other community. Whites, Hispanics, black people are known for not voting. The ones that do vote are going to be more gainfully employed. Higher. You would probably have more low information, uneducated white, Hispanic, and all of them. I think in the black community, them people most of them ain't voting. They just don't show up to vote.
Well, honestly, I don't believe that. I think there's plenty of undereducated and black people who do vote as well, because their family is voting and tell them what to believe, and then CNN tells them the same thing. Same thing with like a lot of redneck white Republicans. They probably do the exact same thing.
Only way I could see, I suppose if you listen, Trump is going to energize a lot of folks to vote in the black community that normally would not be concerned with politics at all. So maybe in this case, you're going to have people that voted in the election that are also out committing crimes or whatever the case may be. But usually, I believe that most people out here committing capers, they don't vote. I think you guys are attributing a whole lot of criminals to the left that ain't really part of the left. They may have the same mindset. Maybe they're pro-choice. Maybe they believe in, gun legislation and shit like that. But when you look at who they voted for, they didn't participate.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. You don't need to participate in order to be a problem when it comes to crime. Because you can vote for policies that cause the people who do commit the crime to get off easy. Like in all these Democrat cities where like people have massive records of violent crime get off multiple times. It was like that one guy who stabbed that guy who
on the
out
subway.
of nowhere. And hilariously enough, He didn't even say the N-word beforehand. He said it after he got stabbed.
Well, let me just say this, and
if you're gonna die, you can say whatever the fuck you want. At that point, I don't care.
That I tend to agree with that, but I will just say this, and I know you've already admitted you're not happy with your vote for Trump, but in my humble opinion, this is just my opinion. The viewers may have a different one, but the moment Trump started pardoning all these January 6ers, you guys kind of lost the whole debate on who's tougher on crime. I mean, a lot of them folks, we talk about Lincoln Riley, or we talking about the subway, all these people that should have been in jail, but they got out and committed other crimes. There's been about a half a dozen of those January 6th pardonees that have gotten out and committed additional felonies. So the minute, and that's not to mention all of these big time white collar fellas that Trump is pardoning almost every damn week. He just pardoned a fucking drug kingpin. You know how many people, you talk about fentanyl killing people and all the kinds of dangers that fentanyl does. You realize how many murders of drug kingpin is probably responsible for? Like, seriously?
Yeah, like here's the thing. When people say like, oh, narcos are not terrorists, my response is, it's not the drugs that make them terrorists. It's what they do with the money that they get from it. And so I'm absolutely pissed at Trump for doing that. I'm like, what the fuck, man? And like that was fucked up that he pardoned that guy. Yeah. Okay, because I do believe these narcos are narco-terrorists. I really do believe that. And it's because what they do with the money that they get, they take over entire towns, they create roadblocks, as they murder people en masse and then hang their bodies out to make sure people see it. Sicario is not like a good source of information when it comes to what the drug war is like, but at least it gives you a good idea. It gives you a good sneak peek, at least. So, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, you get an argument from me, and that's like I said, though, that once Trump has done stuff like that, anyone on the right that would suggest that Democrats are soft on crime and they're letting out bad guys to reoffend, you kind of lost the credibility in that, because you're ignoring Trump is doing the exact same thing that the right is complaining about from Democrats. You know, these liberal judges are just letting people out. You're ignoring all of these pardons this dude is doing. Every week he's pardoning somebody that has committed some serious crimes. He's doing it almost like once a week now. And they're just ignoring that and going only after the liberal judges way down at the bottom of the totem pole that's doing it. So I don't see the credibility. Yeah. I'll give you the last word. I do got to move it on, though.
I know you got to move it on. I just want to end this with this. You know, a lot of people get mad at me because I'm pro-life, and I say, and to the point where I believe the only exception is if a mother's life is in danger. So that does not include if a woman has been raped. But here's the thing: when people say, like, you know, oh, we don't care about the child after it's born, I do. And this is why, if you actually look at people who donate the most amount of money to charity, it's actually people on the right. Overwhelmingly, they donate more per year or per capita.
Jeremy ain't gonna do it. Jeremy, listen, we lived in a society before they created entitlement programs like welfare and food stamps. We lived in a society where charity was the predominant way of helping poor. It wasn't enough. If you're voting against federal social programs, and talking about, well, we do give money in charity, that's not enough. That's a downgrade in the amount of people you can help. You need the federal programs because there's too many, wealthy folks in this country that ain't gonna contribute shit. So most of the charity in this country comes from the lower level people. You can probably ask for $1 or $2 on the street and have a more likelihood chance of somebody that is damn near as poor as you giving you that $1 or $2 than some rich folk. I mean, you got to go beyond charity. You need federal programs. Charity ain't going to do it. Last word on you.
Well, that's a longer discussion. For a different day. But hey, you can't say that conservatives don't care. We can just say maybe they don't have the right solution. Have a good one, Tim.
All right, and I'm going to say conservatives don't care on that one. I'll move it on. Tap the screen, get us on up to 170. But yeah, charity is not going to do it. I mean, listen, if I live in a poor neighborhood, and everybody, let's say I live in a neighborhood where the average salary is 30, 40 grand, very poor neighborhood. Okay, I go to church in that neighborhood. All of my citizens and neighbors in my neighborhood, none of them make enough money to help me out either. So if I go to church and I'm struggling, the pastor can put me up on the stage and tell my story, but they all like, shit, we got stories of our own. Charity's not going to do it. And you don't have the wealthy communities willing to come into the poor communities and help the people out. And then, of course, you throw in shit like intolerance and bigotry and racism. It's only going to be worse because people are only going to want to give charity to people that look like them or think like them or have the same beliefs as them. So the smaller minority groups are even going to face it. They're going to face it both ways. Charity is not going to do it. Charity never was sufficient. I disagree with the charity part. Anyway, Handsome, where have you been? Miss you, brother. CTY, we've been here. We took a couple of days off. We were not live over the weekend. We were live on Friday though. The Democrat Party won't make you wealthy either. They either give you enough to keep voting. You're saying the Democrat Party, big boss, will not. We're not talking about either party making you wealthy. He says they only give you enough to keep voting for them. Well, the right often says the only reason people vote left is they want free shit, which essentially says if you vote for the right, you get nothing at all. I'm a fan of social programs. I think if a person falls flat on their face, society should look out for them. I don't believe in the pull yourself up by your bootstrap mentality because everybody ain't able to do that. I just, like, for instance, they're going to have this, they're making the work requirements for SNAP more stricter. It's part of the big, beautiful bill, if I'm correct, starting in January. You're gonna be hearing stories on your local news in whatever town you're in about people that are getting cut off that actually should still be getting it. They're not, people receiving SNAP are not overwhelmingly fraud, committing fraud against the system. This is not about stopping fraud. This is about just simply reducing the amount of people that are getting assistance. If we make it harder for them to get it, then some people will end up, as Jeremy said, on charity, or they'll get it from someone. The whole goal is to get people off of it. It's not to stop fraud. It's just to get you off of it. And that's what I think is going to happen. You'll hear it on your local nightly news. Some poor lady or whatever the case may be, or some veteran is complaining they had nothing to eat because they don't been given work rights and the dude don't have legs or some shit like that. That's what's going to happen. That's what they're doing is they're just trying to make it harder for people to receive it. 54% of SNAP users are non-citizens. I don't have the numbers, Rainy Day, so I can't dispute you, but I'm going to say I don't believe that. I do not believe that 54% of SNAP users are non-citizens. I just don't believe that whatsoever. I don't even think it's 14%. I'm going to take 40% off of your number. I don't even think it's 14%. I would have to see where you're getting that from, but I mean, if you think about the size of this country, 360 million people in it. No, there's just no fucking way. I see in the comments, Tom says you can't even get SNAP if you're not a citizen. I'll just say it like this. If they start making it harder to receive SNAP, let's see what information they present. Because what I don't like is we're always hearing stuff that comes with no proof. Dead people voted. Okay, well, show me somebody you arrested for voting fraud. Illegal immigrants voted. Okay, give me some names. Did you catch anybody? Illegal immigrants are receiving SNAP. Okay, well, give us some names when you actually arrested and detained an illegal immigrant. Show us that he had a SNAP or an EBT card on him. Like, you're always being told stuff, but provided with no evidence. Whole town of people eating cats and dogs. No prosecutions, no arrests. You just hear these stories being made up. No prosecutions, no arrests. Which leads you to wonder if these stories are actually accurate or not. Just show us some proof. Show us some evidence. 3.3% of non-citizens receive SNAP, says Travelman. I suppose the argument would be that even 3.3% of citizens receiving SNAP is still too many, but when you look at what happened with the Afghan nationals, for instance, they're not citizens yet. They helped out with the war in Afghanistan on behalf of the United States, and they've been granted the right to stay in America. As of now, they're not citizens, though. They're working their way up to that. So they get help. When you come to America, you don't even speak the damn language yet. You got to assimilate, learn the culture and everything. You got to help that person out until they can fit in. And that could take years. Coming from a place like Afghanistan and then coming into America, the culture is completely different. So that could be part of your 3.3% receiving SNAP. Same thing with leaving war zones. I mean, the Ukrainians, for instance, are fleeing Ukraine because it's a war zone. Now, we're not taking many of them in at all. Poland is taking in like 2 million of them. But once again, you got to help them out and help them on their feet when they're in your country. So you're always going to have some non-citizens receiving assistance. Travelman, good evening. Welcome to the program. Big Boss says free hugs. That's how government tracks everything. I don't know what that means. Travelman, good evening.
Hey, what's going on, bro?
Oh my God, it's a rough day today. We're actually talking about, it appears to be a bunch of secrets hovering around the Trump administration. Everything from these boats that are being bombed without any proof. I'm still questioning why we would pardon a drug kingpin in the middle of a drug war. And then, of course, Ghislaine Maxwell is in minimum security. Does it appear as if they're doing things and not being forthcoming with the people? What say you?
Well, more than likely, but the thing about it is the thing that, and most administrations do have some activities like that. The difference is they don't usually do the damage that the Trump administration is doing. Okay, the boat thing. But you know what? Everybody got an opinion on this, and this has already been talked about for the last couple of weeks, especially. But my question is, they have blown up what?
20 of them.
They unalived 80-something people.
Yeah, it's over 80 people, yeah.
Blown up 20-something boats. Have they done anything regarding the demand?
No. Like Dencal said, like a couple callers like Dencal rightfully pointed out, 20 boats over a period of several weeks. Yeah, it's a lot of boats getting through. When you think about the size of this country and how much drugs we consume, like Dencal rightfully pointed out, taking out 20 boats ain't shit. That's a drop in a bucket.
You know what? That's like a fly on a rhinoceros ass. You know? But once again, it goes back to what are they doing about the demand? Okay? As you know, I spent time down on the southern border. Over the course of 15 years, I probably saw a couple of hundred busts down there. And, some of it with tons and tons of weed or whatever, and that's just a fraction. what they catch is just a fraction, and they actually had a building at the site where they would actually burn the weed. They would catch so much of it, and also the white stuff, and the stuff that they claiming to catch, or they were trying to stop from coming into the country, is not the one that's doing all the damage. So what's being done about that? Because that's actually coming from China, and 90% of it is brought across the border by U.S. citizens.
So what you're suggesting is that majority of the fentanyl is not coming from Venezuela.
They've been saying it all along.
Yeah, they have.
Come on, Tim.
I'm not fluffing. I've said it too.
I'm not saying you are. Every time they talk about the FNL coming across the border, it's always coming. Some of the ingredients are coming from China. Is fully manufactured in Mexico and brought across the border. 90% of it through the southern border by U.S. citizens.
Yeah,
that's all they talk about. That's all they talk about. And another thing, no motorboat is going what they're blowing up. It cannot make it to the U.S. with what they're in. So anytime you have a 4-star admiral, okay,
resign
his now he lost the star, so he retired as a 3-star.
Wow,
because he wasn't in the position long enough to keep.
It would not surprise me if you got a liberal politician in there and they just knocked him up to 4-star because of what he went through.
Well, it had to be more than that had to come down through the president.
That's what I'm talking about. A liberal president in there. That's what I'm talking about.
It had to come through the president.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what Trump would do if a liberal president caused a patriot Republican to resign. Like, that's something Trump would do. He would give that person in retirement an additional star.
Well, he gave the Joint Chief of Staff an additional star, so he could become the JCS.
Yeah.
He didn't have the training or the experience to become the JCF, but he gave him a start and made him that, and replaced a 4-star with him. But once again, when you take a look at all this stuff that goes on, and I've said it before, we haven't talked in a while. We are in every day is a different day in the U.S. reality TV show, because that's what it's like.
That's what Nikki Haley, when she was campaigning, stated. Like, she was like, you don't need to replace Democrat chaos with Republican chaos. Apparently that message did not resonate enough with MAGA because she got trounced. But that's what she was saying, is don't replace Biden's chaos with more chaos from Trump.
Yeah, but then again, when you think about it, that's because he got 70-some million votes. And out of that 70-some million votes, you probably got about 30 or 40 million, 30 or 40 million of them that's running around here with a severe case of head up Trump's ass syndrome. So basically the man lies all the time. He just sat there and lied and said that the Somalis were running wild in Minnesota and people were scared to come out of their house, right? Everything Trump says, you can bet cash money within 24 hours, MAGA and Republican politicians are going to be repeating it.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what Marjorie Taylor Greene stated, that her life was in danger. She was receiving death threats. And when Trump was questioned on it, he was like, I don't believe her life's in danger. I don't think anybody cares about her. And she gave an interview and she said, not only, because they asked her, do you think that these are Trump supporters? She's like, yeah, because they're saying the same stuff he's saying. They're calling me Marjorie Trader Brown. I said they're using the same language. So
yeah. The same thing when he called the Mark Kelly and those guys, when he called them, they said they committed sedition.
Sedition 6. Yeah.
Next thing you know, that's all they talking about. Everything he says is within 24 hours is a talking point, and it's going out to every Republican across the country, and every politician, they start talking about the same thing.
That's a good point. If he calls you you raise a good point. If he calls you a nickname, MAGA will call you that same Bird Brain, Crazy Bernie, Nervous Nancy, Sleepy Joe. Yeah, they call you that same name.
Yeah, without a doubt. And you got people constantly, still to this day, he's a businessman. He's not a politician. Bullshit. He is a politician.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's a politician.
Okay.
Right now. Yeah.
He ran for office 3 times. You are a politician. Not only is he a politician, he's a lying-ass politician. And not only that, tell me one day since January the 20th, this man has not attacked or called somebody names or something. Tell me one day that he hasn't.
Well, he was not around past Labor Day. People were wondering, was he sick? So he wasn't on television. But if he's on television, he's going to. He attacked another female journalist today. Go ahead.
If he don't attack him in person, he attacks him on that sorry ass social whatever it is he got. Okay, I mean, that's what he does.
I'm not.
But then when you say something about him, now you wrong.
You got derangement syndrome. I'm not disagreeing with you, but look. Folks voted for President Trump because they liked the name calling in, and so I mean, he's only doing what people voted him in to do. They wanted that.
Then don't get upset when it's directed at him, because that's what happens.
Yeah.
They went after Trump. They put all these cases on President Trump. You know why they put cases on his ass? Usually because you break the law.
Well, they claim it's a witch hunt.
Of course it is. But go read volume 2 of the Mueller report. That ain't no witch hunt. He laid out all the obstruction cases against Trump. And the only reason he didn't get indicted is because the DOJ, Office of Legal Counsel, said we do not indict presidents or charge presidents. Otherwise, his ass would have been charged.
What do you think? Okay. Let's say, for instance, the Democrats take the House and Senate come November next year. Do you think they're going to try to go after Trump for anything criminally?
It'll be a waste of time because they can't get the votes in the Senate.
No, if they take the House and Senate, if the Democrats,
you still gotta have what 2/3 in the Senate.
Well, shit. I mean, you never know. Let's say they get 54 and they only need 6, or they need get 58 or something like that, which is a lot. But
I'll tell you what. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a blue wave, and the reason being is because they have attacked every freaking institution that we have. So when people talk about, somebody thinks about it on earlier, and they're talking about draining the swamp, and they consider the swamp because first of all, it hasn't been millions of federal workers laid off, okay? Because you only have, I think, 2 or 3 million.
Yeah, I heard him. He referred to the Doge layoffs as the dreading the swamp. No, look, you firing some person making $60,000 a year working for the federal. That ain't the swamp. When you say the swamp, people thinking of Nancy Pelosi or even Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now that she don't make $25 million, firing somebody at a federal office, nobody ever thought of that as being the swamp.
And not only that, Doge was a bust anyway. Okay, a lot of stuff that they did was a lot of stuff they put out there was lies. Okay, they dismantled the one agency that spread our soft power around the world. They dismantled that on a bunch of lies. Okay, every time they want to go after something, they demonize it first, and then they go after it. Whether it's an agency or whether it's a person, the one he just put the name on the building, they tried to get rid of that, but they weren't able to do it. They held the building. Remember when they seized that building and they left weed and stuff in it when
But you gotta give it up to him. He is very effective at everything Trump wants. He seems to get. And I see somebody in the comments that said Marjorie Taylor Greene is a rhino. Same thing he did to Republicans his first term. I mean, the guy. Look, we can go back and forth about Trump, but I mean, who else could be that successful? Even if Rubio or Vance replaced him, I mean, is there anyone else that has that kind of power, that kind of love and adoration that they give Trump?
The Congress has totally capitulated to Trump.
Right.
He has run amok this first year in office. And if you go back and look the last time he was in office, the first 2 years he ran amok. He did whatever he wanted to do the first 2 years. But then when the Democrats took over and Nancy Pelosi rolled up in there, hey, I'm not a big Nancy Pelosi fan, but I give props where props are due. Okay? They put an end to it. Now, they're probably going to get back the House. They're going to probably get the House back.
I'm hearing as many as, now this could be speculated, but I heard it from, what is her name, Alyssa, whatever her name is on The View. She's a right-winger on The View. She represents the right. She said, because she used to work for Trump and she has inside information, she claims she's hearing rumors as many as 20 Republican Congress could retire before the midterms. Not retire, but resign.
Yeah, because when you look at what they've done, they don't want to be in the minority because they worried about the same thing being done to them. But first of all, they have a very weak Speaker of the House, So Trump has basically anything. Look, dude, they have had control since January.
Mm-hmm.
January, bruh. Besides that damn monstrosity of a bill that 90% of the economists say is a joke, what else major legislation have they passed?
Congress? Lincoln Riley Act, I guess.
No. When was this? Was that this year?
That's a good question. I believe so. It would have been, wouldn't it?
But was that major legislation though?
Oh no, Trump is mostly everything that's happened from the Trump administration has been done by Trump himself. They're not using Congress for it. Congress is pretty much just rubber stamping, or not even rubber stamping. They're just kind of standing by idly and letting Trump do whatever he wants.
They even gave a half-assed report when they went in there and reported on the votes. They saw, this is how jacked up the Republicans are. Cotton came out and said what he saw, and then the other congressman, the other Democratic came out and said that stuff was even hard to watch. Now, I can tell you right now, you blow a boat up, they clinging to the side of it. Number one, the Geneva Convention, the rules of war, even the U.S. Guide for War, all that stuff said that they use the term shipwreck or whatever. If you take them out, you did wrong. Okay, that's the bottom line.
That's, before you continue, because somebody in the comments asked me, what could they possibly get Trump on? Those boats, I think, boats, if they're going to impeach Trump on something, that whole case of blowing up drug dealers without due process, And not even, that is probably one of the things that you may hear. Certainly, if they bring up that African American admiral that retired or resigned or whatever, there's a reason why he did that, and they're going to want to hear that guy testify.
It's probably a couple of things. If they really dig down, not really dig down, but there's probably a couple of things they could get him on. That's probably kind of borderline. But the thing is, hey, you got the Supreme Court.
Well, shit, dispatching the courts have ruled that sending the National Guard to U.S. cities is illegal, and it's caused the death of one person so far. I mean, that woman would not have been killed if she wasn't in D.C. on that deployment. I mean, there's other things out there. I mean, in addition to those boats, I mean, he is doing other stuff like that. So
you bring that up, and it's interesting because once again they overreact. So, we're gonna stop everything dealing with the Afghans that we brought over here. But think about this for a minute. I think I put that in earlier in the comments. They brought all these guys over that worked alongside U.S. troops, right? Like the guy who did the unaliving.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Those guys are probably suffering from PTSD.
Yep.
And they're not getting any treatment at all.
And not only would they be potentially suffering from PTSD, but they're in a country that don't like them. I mean, it's plain and simple. Outside of the Afghani community, you're not going to find a lot. I mean, you got people talking about passing laws to prevent Sharia law and all that. America is not very Muslim friendly. So outside of, they came to a country that essentially is likely to subject them to racism eternally. We don't like the Muslims in this country. America's not very Muslim friendly. So
but don't you think that comes from the top? I mean, the organization would be a reflection of the leader, right? Mm-hmm. You look at our leader right now and look at what kind of hate he spews out, and that's what you get.
He is on record asking for a total and complete ban on all Muslims.
Yeah. Well, he's an idiot for one thing. So, you got to kind of take some of the stuff. The thing about it makes it dangerous is that nobody can stop him because the Supreme Court, even now, they getting ready to let him fire all the people on the doggone different commissions that's supposed to be above politics. See, what they have done this year is going to probably take this country 10 or 15 years to recover from.
Yeah, at least.
Both internally and externally. Because all our allies, they look at us like we done lost our mind.
Yeah, I absolutely believe the harm to relationships is going to probably take a large chunk of the remainder of my life to repair. Because, like NATO, for instance, the way Trump has viewed NATO has shown other nations you can't just trust and let the United States take the lead anymore. All it takes is one bad election, and we could all be at risk. I mean, this guy's favoring Russia. I mean, so the way NATO views America, just standing back, kind of like Congress is with Trump, just letting Trump take the lead. NATO has kind of stood back. I don't think that that's going to happen going forward. All of them should realize at this point going forward that you need to step up your own military, and you might not even need to share everything going forward with the United States because they got their own agenda.
Hey, and all these countries that he talk about, shithole countries or whatever, you know who the largest, most dominant player in South America? China. The largest, most dominant player in Africa? China. Who's leading the world in technology? I think out of 40 benchmarks, China lead us in 32 of them.
You can blame, in my opinion, you can blame that on the United States as well. I'll explain it on the other side, but I got to move it on.
The United States, I agree with you 100%.
The United States is, by sending all those jobs and manufacturing over there, we've made our adversary extremely wealthy, and they're using their money against us on the world stage in every way. Travelman, thanks for coming through.
All right, bro. Take care.
Anytime. Now, I froze my screen here. I got News Nation. Sometimes I have Fox or CNN playing in the background, but on the television behind me, they were showing some on TV. I'm not listening to it, but I can see what's on the screen. I froze this because this is a Yale youth pool that was taken from, they got 3,426 registered voters between October 29th and November 11th. Now, this is 2028's most electable Democrats. Listen to this. 85% went with Gavin Newsom, 63% Mark Kelly. Now, I think President Trump is making Mark Kelly a far more viable candidate than he normally would have been. By Trump attacking him, he's inspiring Mark Kelly to fight back. Remember, Mark Kelly's the one that's the leader of the seditious six with the whole you don't have to follow illegal orders. He's making Mark Kelly he's turning Mark Kelly into a Democrat star. Anyway, 63% Mark Kelly. Guess who's in third? We talked about this earlier in the show. Governor Tim Walz, a.k.a. Tampon Tim at 59%. Remember when I told you I think that head-to-head Tim Walz would have beat Kamala Harris in the primary? Pollsters agree with me here. Cory Booker at 58%. Josh Shapiro at 58%. Then they go down to Pete Buttigieg. Wow, Pete Buttigieg is still in this. Pete Buttigieg at 57%. I don't know about that one. I've always said that the next candidate after President Trump, because of how Obama just brought out all types of shit, I do believe the next Democrat candidate needs to be a straight white Christian male. And they need to be able to strongly check off those boxes. Not going to church every now and then, not being straight, but looking Ryan Seacrest-like. You need to be hardcore, macho male almost. Straight white Christian male. Look, Pete Buttigieg, I think he's really good on Fox. He's really good in debates and interviews, but he is gay. And there's a lot of homophobia in America. So I'm just going to point that out. Governor Pritzker of Illinois, 56%. Now, he's under Pete Buttigieg. I think in the primary, Pritzker would beat Buttigieg. Man, that's my opinion. Mark Cuban, I don't know why he's in there, but I want you to hear who the last person is, because you probably know where I'm going with this. Mark Cuban, there's only 10 of these. Mark Cuban is number 8 at 55%. Andy Beshear is at 53%. Guess who is in 10th place at 52%? Kamala Harris. She's behind all of these people. The poll put Kamala Harris behind every one of these people. Behind Newsom, Senator Mark, Governor Tim Walz, Cory Booker, Josh Shapiro, Pete Buttigieg, J.B. Pritzker, Mark Cuban, Andy Beshear. Kamala Harris is behind all of them. That's crazy. That's great. And she is on paper more qualified than some of them. But that just goes to show you there's not a lot of love from the Democrats for Kamala Harris. I definitely do not believe Harris needs to run for president, at least not in the next election. She needs to do something. She could have been trolling the hell out of Trump in the offseason. She could have done more if she plans on being in politics. Maybe she doesn't want to run anymore. But if she intends to run more, she should not, because she's kind of sat this one out. Few statements here or there, but she's kind of sat it out. Many of these other people I'm mentioning, they haven't sat it out. So Kamala Harris is probably out. Anyway, looking in the comments real quick, it's for women, period. None of your, I don't know. I think, well, oddly enough, Gretchen Whitmer is not in this list at all. Gretchen Whitmer's not in there at all. No, Warren was, what is her name? Elizabeth Warren. Christina Hildebrand ran last time. None of them folks are in this. So, yeah, it's all men with the exception of Kamala Harris, and she's probably only in it because she ran last time. Otherwise, it would have probably been a 10th man in there as well. So, I appreciate you folks, by the way, 181,000. That's a bit much. We almost hit 200,000. So, you guys, thank you for tapping the screen and showing the program some love. You guys know how it is ran. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone. If you favor open dialogue from all sides of the aisle, we're here most weekdays. Feel free to follow the program if you've been watching us on Instagram or Facebook, and of course TikTok. And if you happen to be watching us live on YouTube, give your boy a sub. We certainly will be here tomorrow. Nevertheless, we gotta run in the show. So catch you guys tomorrow. Y'all stay safe. See you then. Thank you on YouTube as well. Catch you later.